This holiday season, make the smart choice and switch to Sprint and get a new Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, Note 8, or S8 Active with 50% off your lease. That's right, the hottest Samsung devices 50% off. Plus, with Galaxy Forever, you can upgrade to the latest Galaxy anytime after 12 lease payments. And when you switch to Sprint, you get the best price for unlimited. $25 per month per line for a family of 4, plus get a 5th line free. That's 50% off Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. You also get 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot in HD, so you can stream your favorite holiday movies, music, and games. So stop by your local Sprint store, sprint.com/holiday deals, or call 1-800-SPRINT1 to learn more.
Requires 18-month lease and new line savings via monthly credit applied within 2 bills. Early termination results in remaining balance due after 1/31/19. Pay $38 a line per month with autopay. Excludes taxes, surcharges, and roaming. Compared to Verizon Beyond Unlimited rates, AT&T Unlimited Plus plan, and T-Mobile One Plus plan for 5 lines. Carrier features differ. Coverage and offer not everywhere. Subject to credit and $30 activation fee. Speed maximums, use rules, and restrictions apply.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth, now heard regularly in 18 countries. What percentage of you listening to this commercial often say to yourself, what could I do to make more money, or how can we increase our business? I'm guessing that's most of you. Have you ever heard knock on the door and it'll open? Well, my friends at Income Store have doors you can open that can help you or your family make more money, or doors that lead to an increase in revenue for any business of any size. Income Store has 2 main doors on their website. These doors lead to over 2,000 revenue-generating ideas and products. Although a few of their products are pricey, 90+% of their growth formulas are delivered free or nearly free. Income Store's growth products and ideas have been publicized and featured on Forbes, Inc., USA Today, and recently the Biography Channel. Could your household or business use a revenue shot in the backside? Are you sick of your checkbook talking back and saying no? If so, you need to knock on the doors of IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
5:11. Let's get an update on the roads and apparently on the rails this morning. There's trouble there in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Pike. Right. Passengers at several metro lines can expect delays. There was a derailment last night at the south end of Union Station. So Metro is saying that passengers on the BNSF and Southwest service lines can expect delays up to 30 minutes this morning. And these issues could extend into the evening rush. We'll get an update from Metro sometime late this morning or early this afternoon. Also on the Heritage Quarter line, passengers can expect delays up to 15 minutes. Expressways and tollways look pretty good for the most part. Lakeshore Drive near Oakwood. There was an earlier incident, chase, a long drama there, a crash. Is unrelated or separate from the earlier incident last night involving the alleged wrong-way driver, but this situation is being cleared now southbound past Oakwood. So Lakeshore Drive now has everything open in both directions. There's some road work at the south end of the Ryan. Some ramps are closed till 6 this morning at 87th and 95th. Elsewhere, the expressways and tollways look great. Traffic service of Discover Card. Discover Card alerts you if they find your social security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. It's just another way they look after you, not just your account. It's free for card members. Sign up online at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Increasing clouds today with a late afternoon shower around. Winds gusting up to 30 to 35 miles per hour, high 56. Tonight, patchy clouds, low 34. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 47. Then a shower late tomorrow night, low 38. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
37 at O'Hare, 42 along the lakefront, 37 at Midway, 26 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage. 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fly By Night with your host, comedian, and entertainer extraordinaire, Ken Severa. Saturdays at midnight on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, it's Chewy in for Louie, made official yesterday. So it kind of sounds like a Charleston Chew commercial. Remember that?
I like that.
The Charleston Chew.
Yeah.
Charleston Chew is Chewy Louie. Remember that? Here's Gutierrez, El Gallito, making the big announcement about his 25-year reign of terror coming to an end.
Today I'm announcing that I will not be seeking re-election. But I also want to be very clear, crystal and absolutely clear, what I'm not announcing. I am going to leave Congress at the end of my term in 2019, but I'm not retiring. I'm not giving up on the fight for equality for immigrants, for Latinos, for women, for fighting for LGBT community, the environment, racial justice, or the whole range of progressive issues I've been fighting for over 25 years in Congress.
Sounds like he was reading from a banner at Riverside Brookfield High School.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I met with my in-laws last night, ex-in-laws. They live in Puerto Rico. They're friends with the Gutierrezes. He is convinced that he's going to go down there, help rebuild Puerto Rico, the lady that is Puerto Rico, and then run for governor of Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
that's one theory, but he did get teary-eyed when he talked about the lady.
And there's a lot of people that have turned their backs on her. And she needs to be rebuilt. And I cannot be here in the 4th Congressional District and rebuilding the home of my mom and my dad, where my wife was born, a place that I love so much.
Mm-hmm. How is he going to rebuild it? Exactly how? What's he going to do?
Raise funds, raise awareness.
Is that what he's going to do?
That's, because he's Luis Gutierrez.
Right.
What do you think he's going to do? 312-642-5600. It's a turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Yeah, probably reopen that FALN chapter in Puerto Rico since he's a big terrorist sympathizer. Property tax cheat, terrorist sympathizer, racial demagogue on the order of Jackson and Sharpton. That's El Gallito's life in a nutshell. And Mark Brown in the Sun-Times actually picks up on that. His roomie down in Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's right. They roomed together.
Mark Brown, Chicago Sun-Times columnist, left-wing crank, roomed with Luis Gutierrez down there. So you could get an objective perspective on the greatness of Gutierrez.
He roomed with them when they were covering the hurricane.
Gutierrez for president. You heard it here first. Oh, boy.
Yeah, yesterday we had it here first that he was going to be the VP candidate. Now he's going to be president?
Mark Brown, desperate to be relevant. He's talking about this like a messaging campaign in 2020. He's going to come back to, do the things that he just said in terms of his big progressive agenda. Oh, by the way, that was implemented in Puerto Rico and has been implemented in Chicago. Puerto Rico, bankrupt. Chicago, bankrupt. Unable to fend for themselves. Unable to manage their own affairs. So, Chuy Garcia, the inside guy, the outside guy becoming the inside guy. How many times have we seen that dance in Chicago politics? And the machine's wheels continue to turn. But so Luis Gutierrez's policies, Chuy Garcia's policies, have been tried, including in his beloved Puerto Rico, and they were a disaster. Okay. He was asked about running for governor of Puerto Rico. He said he wasn't going to, but that doesn't mean anything. But this is interesting because Brown inadvertently makes my point for me. Gutierrez for president. For a comparison, think of Reverend Jesse Jackson's groundbreaking presidential campaigns in 1984 and 1988. When he energized black voters and used that as leverage to gain power within the party. That was identity politics and white media is what gave Jesse Jackson power, Mark Brown. People like you, not, the energy of black voters that were loyal to Jesse Jackson. But okay. Jesse Jackson's campaigns in 84 and 88, that's what he is comparing Gutierrez 2020 run to.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you what, he's right. And this is something that's been underreported, of course, in the Chicago Press Corps because, they're complicit with all of this. Even when they hand-wring about the game being rigged and everybody just switching chairs. Oh, isn't it so terrible we don't have choice? And meanwhile, yay, Gutierrez, and yay, Rahm, and yay, Chuy, and Ricky, and the whole gang.
It made me sick yesterday. I mean, honestly, I heard Rob Johnson on Channel 2, which I rarely watch, say he has anointed his replacement. Aren't we the voters
No,
here to
spare
decide.
me.
Oh, no, I mean, no, listen, even
Honestly.
listen to Luis.
I would not have made this decision unless there was somebody who could step up and give new life.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Right, the guy who's been in public office for 30
who
years.
could be a champion.
Yeah, right.
Here in Chicago, but on a national level, too.
Right, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Chewy said he had no desire to ever be in Washington, that he was asked to take this responsibility on, and he is doing so for the Latino community.
I know. One line of bull jive begets another line of bull jive. I got it. Racial demagogue, though. Luis Gutierrez, as part of his legacy, should not go unnoticed, making race relations worse in Chicago and nationally when he got elevated to a little platform by being, the sanctuary state, sanctuary city guy. Racial demagogue. Divisive. Exacerbating tensions between races, between Latinos and blacks, between whites and Latinos, the identity politics just from a Puerto Rican perspective with respect to Gutierrez. He's another disgusting politician who did nothing but enrich himself and degrade our political culture. That's Luis Gutierrez.
And not to mention he was arrested about a dozen times, too.
Yeah, but that's all part of the...
It's a theater of politics.
Yeah, that's all part of his his profile, though. Chaining himself to rails and whatnot in protest for immigrants' rights and all that jazz. Ed in Oak Brook here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, you know what? He kind of stole my thunder there, Dan. But in his your opening, when Louis was talking, he mentioned every group. So why didn't he just say simply, "I hate white people because they have oppressed us all"? And I met Louis one time, and he's like a personable guy, and he was appealing to all of us for votes and everything. But the fact of the matter is, his message was delivered. It was bought. And you know what? It's consistent with the Democratic theme of just, taking groups and just hating white males. And I understand that. But what I don't understand is white males just accepting this and joining their ranks to even hate themselves. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Ed. Randy and Aurora.
I think what you need to do is you need to look at Luis Gutierrez's net worth today and then look at his net worth once he gets into Puerto Rico, because we all know that government down there is as loosey-goosey as it is right now in Chicago. And if he gets down in there and they're sending the money that they want them to send to them, $95 billion, that guy will all of a sudden become a billionaire overnight.
Real estate developer, yeah. Thanks for the call, Randy.
He might, I heard, honestly, be involved in a new electric company that's going to be popping up to fix the power grid.
Of course.
But it's government money that's going to be used to help subsidize
Louis
these programs. So he knows he's following the cash. He can smell the green.
Yeah. Louis and friends.
Yeah.
I'd like to compare his net worth from when he began as a member of Congress to today.
We should do that. And then from today, when he arrives in Puerto Rico in 2019, to see what happens then. But he's going to, even though he's going to still be our congressman until 2019, he's still going to be making trips to Puerto Rico.
I bet he is.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Guys, rest assured, you need to save the date. New plans on the royal wedding and what's next for the bride-to-be.
Boring.
Hey, I received 2 emails from men that said thank you for talking about it. 2.
Those weren't men.
Mostly sunny today, cooler, a high of 47 degrees. Then tonight, a passing shower. And tomorrow, we're going to have clouds and some sun, but pleasant once again, a high of 51 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, I know you care about the Royals. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Maybe I might have 200 years ago, Amy, but not sorry. Not at all. We've got enough drama on the roads right now, and it's unfortunately some life and death real drama that's happened during the overnight hours. There was a major wreck last night on Lakeshore Drive. Then later, there was the end of a police chase and a scene near Oakwood, which cleared up. Everything is now lifted. Everything is cleared up. Lakeshore Drive is now wide open in both directions, but there were a lot of issues during the night. Right now on the expressways, just have the usual morning slowdowns on the inbound Ryan starting around 18th. Inbound Bishop Ford starting around Cottage Grove. I-57 is still okay. Outbound on the Ryan, there's an on-ramp closure at 87th and an off-ramp closure at 95th. Tollways are all good. No problems to report in northwest Indiana. You'll have some delays on Metro trains this morning coming in and out of Union Station after a derailment last night. Delays up to 30 minutes are expected on the BNSF and Southwest lines, up to 15 minutes on the Heritage line. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this is very important. Your credit score is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. I strongly advise listeners purchasing a home to contact me as far in advance as possible so I can pre-qualify you for free. I will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing a home. Paying banks and other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com and get pre-qualified for free. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage License T 4358 and MLS 19186.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little, you make too much. You don't pay enough, you didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing much more than just a rate. Let me ask you, does calling the company with the best client service in America, with 11 J.D. Power Awards to prove it, matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative, client-focused technology, matter? Does calling the company with 17,000-plus team members who are helping to rebuild the great cities of Detroit and Cleveland matter? Of course it matters. No wonder our clients have made Quicken Loans America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com for the best mortgage experience on earth. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
AM 560, The Answer.
Quickly, Susie in Chicago. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Hi, Susie.
Good morning. Good morning. Since Chinese Dancer, they ran the numbers for him, he's not going to make it. They're probably going to put the little net, Luis Gutierrez, up for mayor.
Thanks for the call, Susie. He said no, and I don't think so. I think, or don't forget, he endorsed Rahm in 2015. He's part of the machine. He won't run against it.
I want to remind you about Food for the Poor. We're beginning our campaign once again to help those in need in Haiti, the Guatemala, and islands in the Caribbean that were affected by the recent hurricanes. We're asking for a one-time donation of $50. Now, what do you get for $50? Well, 95% of your entire donation, which is really great, goes directly to help the people in need. $50, you will supply water for life and food for a year. Our goal this year is to provide water for life and food for a year for 3,000 children in Haiti and in Guatemala. And I know yesterday was Giving Tuesday, and a lot of people, they decided what charity. I don't know about you, Dan, but I was bombarded with emails from different charities. I just don't even realize how many are out there, how many people are in need. But I've decided to stick with this charity because I traveled with them to see firsthand the people that they help. They go into orphanages, they go into villages and provide food and water and build schools. They've built 200 schools so far to help those in need. One-time donation, $50. If all you could do is $20 or $30, that's fine. We appreciate any donation you could give us. It's 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-4673. Or simply visit 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword food.
The president of Guatemala is a former comedic actor. So, I mean, think about this as donating to help kids from one nation governed by a comedic actor to another. We also have our Business Benefactor Program. That's the program that we've run before as part of this campaign. Any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor receives, as gratitude from us, 40 60-second commercials that will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on our airwaves, so prime broadcasting hours. All you do is call sales manager Michael Mann directly, 847-871-1527. 847-871-1527 is Michael Mann's number to get you enrolled in the Business Benefactor Program.
And sign up quickly because spots are running out, so you want to be a part of that program. It's the best radio deal in all of Chicago, $2,500, and you'll get 41-minute commercials. Plus, your money goes to help those in need. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Eli Manning benched at 5:38.
And he's not taking it well.
Well, it's a lesson for another Eli Jacobson.
Oh, okay. And then later, North Korea fires a ballistic missile that could reach the U.S., so what's next? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
37 degrees. And a big tax reform bill moving to this floor of the Senate as a committee approves that bill on a party line vote yesterday. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on the movement.
We do have a few members who have concerns, and we're trying to address them. And we know we would not be able to go forward until we get 50 people satisfied, and that's what we're working on.
Senate Republican leaders want to get that bill passed by week's end. President Trump reacting to North Korea's latest missile launch. Speaking about that missile at the White House, the president said, quote, "We will take care of it," end quote. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert saying U.S. allies South Korea and Japan are worried.
I imagine today that they are understandably nervous. We've had a period of relative calm, if you would call it that, since September 15th, since the last testing. But nevertheless, that is a huge concern.
The ballistic missile flew several hundred miles and came down in the Sea of Japan. A jury says the accused ringleader of the 2012 Benghazi attack is guilty of terrorism, but not murder. Jurors acquitting that terrorist of the most critical charges against him yesterday. U.S. Ambassador to Libya Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans were killed in the attack. Police in Florida say they've arrested a suspect in a string of murders terrorizing a Tampa neighborhood. Howell Donaldson III was arrested, charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder for the killings in the Seminole Heights neighborhood.
Our detectives are currently working on the charging documents, and we will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder for Howell Emmanuel Donaldson III.
Police Chief Brian Dugan. Police in Reno, Nevada say a man who fired shots from a downtown apartment building is dead. Officer Tim Broadway say police moved quickly to control the incident near a major casino.
Quickly secured the scene. We evacuated motel and hotel and casino patrons to safe locations in downtown area.
The man had barricaded himself in an 8th-floor apartment and, according to officers, was holding a woman hostage. Authorities believe alcohol played a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive that left 4 people hurt overnight. 2 teens have pleaded guilty in the sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl that was streamed live on Facebook in March. However, that deal with Cook County prosecutors and agreed to by Judge Patricia Mendoza has only sentenced those teenagers to probation. Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez is backing Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia to replace him after the Chicago Democrat announced he was not seeking re-election next year. Bond set at $250,000 each for 3 Chicago men accused of stealing cars and burglarizing garages in Elmhurst. A 4th suspect remains at large. Suns over the Bulls, 104-99. Bulls have now lost 6 straight. Blackhawks fall to Nashville, 3-2. The news service of Staples. Staples has great deals on gift ideas to bring smiles to everyone on your list. Electronic gifts like Bluetooth headphones and speakers, or streaming devices and smart home solutions, even board games like Monopoly. More holiday fun, less holiday hassles at Staples. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher has figured out all the common links in all of the sexual assault cases.
What's the common denominator? It's not politics. The common denominator here are men in power. Men that are in power, that have a capacity to sort of lord over these women. This is not unique to a political party.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Braving the holiday crowds at parties and malls can also mean you're braving germs. Be sure to have the Exergen temporal scanner at home to make sure you avoided getting a cold or the flu.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
5:35. Let's get an update on the roads and rails this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metro officials say that passengers on lines going into Union Station this morning can expect delays. There was a derailment last night at the south end of Union Station. According to Metro, BNSF passengers and Southwest Service passengers expect delays up to 30 minutes this morning, and Heritage Corridor passengers can expect delays up to 15 minutes. The other lines right now are all looking good. The Edens, the Kennedy, and the Eisenhower. Check that. The Edens and the Kennedy are fine. The Eisenhower inbound is a little slow pocket now. First Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue. So call it up to a 1-minute delay. The outbound Ike is clear. Mount Stevenson tight, Harlem to Central and Ashland to the Ryan, 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 16, it's heavy through the road work, 87th to 95th. Bishop Ford, you've got a 5-minute delay approaching the Ryan. Tollways are okay. Traffic, service of Discover Card. Discover Card alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. It's just another way they look after you, not just your account. It's free for card members. Sign up online at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and cooler today, a high of 47. Becoming cloudy overnight with a passing shower, low 38. Currently 37 at O'Hare, 42 along the lakefront, 26 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
I know we're not supposed to talk about the NFL, and we're all boycotting it because of the stupid politics of a handful of stupid players.
Are they still taking a knee?
Some of them are.
I don't even pay attention.
But if you kind of can work your way through the politics and the disrespect and the annoyance of millionaires being petulant children and decrying America.
Petulant Children, that was the name of your middle school band, right?
It was.
Or was it a solo act?
It was my middle school band. It was a Crowded House cover band.
Oh, yeah. And you played some acoustic sets, too. It's pretty good.
Yeah. We did with the first VH1 Unplugged.
Yeah. It was really, it was groundbreaking.
Sort of pioneers, yeah. Eli Manning and the Manning family, Archie and Peyton and Eli, and
Yeah.
just like Amy's Peyton and Eli. So New York Giants are a terrible football team this year, and Eli Manning is really struggling. Part of the reason they're terrible. I don't know about replacing him with Geno Smith. I don't know how that's going to improve the New York Giants' fortunes, but okay.
Didn't Geno Smith play for the Jets? Or is that their other backup quarterback?
Yeah, he did play for the Jets.
Because he didn't do well.
No.
Time to is this a Colin Kaepernick story? Is it time to bring back Colin Kaepernick?
No, I wouldn't say that. But I don't think Geno Smith is going to turn into Case Keenum anytime soon. But it's more the issue of how Eli Manning is a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Mm-hmm.
Been in the league for 13 years.
Started 210 games.
In a row.
Yeah.
And also 2-time Super Bowl champion against the team of his generation. Beat the Patriots twice. But regarding that 210 consecutive regular season game start, Manning told the media that his coach, Ben McAdoo, gave him the choice to continue his streak but allow backup Smith and Davis Webb to have some playing time. Manning said no to that. My feeling is that if you're going to play the other guys, then play them. Starting just to keep the streak going and knowing you won't finish the game and have a chance to win is pointless to me, and it tarnishes the streak. Like I always have, I will be ready to play if and when I'm needed. I will help Geno and Davis prepare to play as well as they possibly can. Here's Eli Manning with more on the benching.
How hard is this hitting you emotionally?
It's hard. It's been a hard day to handle this, but hang in there and figure it out.
Hardest day as a Giant, you would say?
It's up there. Yeah.
Do you feel like you might have started your last game for the Giants?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll take it one week at a time.
And he was fighting back tears.
Oh yeah, you could see he was trying to bite his lip. But I mean, the Giants are 2-9 right now.
Eli Manning subsequently said that he was also going to go to Puerto Rico with Luis Gutierrez.
We stop to help rebuild the power grid system and get some government funding in your pocket.
But Manning, the way that Manning approached the benching is instructive, isn't it? And this is why sports is so great and why it is instructive and why it's important for kids to play sports of some sort, to learn teamwork and all the other lessons, overcoming adversity, humility. I mean, 2-time Super Bowl champion, been in the league 13 years, got, I'm sure he's got tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. So he doesn't need this. But the way that he took that devastating news, that shot to his pride and to some extent to his resume in the NFL is really instructive. It's why he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
He's a good leader. I mean, he really is. And that's selfless, what he's doing, I think.
Well,
because he's not thinking about his streak. He's thinking about the team and what needs to happen.
And he's taking it with humility. That's how life is. One day you're a 2-time Super Bowl champion. The next day you're on the bench. So it's just such a, as many bad examples as there are to recount in sport, this is a good example. And I hope Peyton and Eli at the Jacobson household take judicial notice of this.
There is an opening on my 5th and 6th grade girls basketball team that Eli Manning could try out for.
On your girls basketball team?
Basketball team.
I don't think
there's a lot of gender fluidity going on right now, so we can.
I don't think that's the real takeaway from the Eli Manning story. I don't think he's going to go play in the lingerie league now. That's not. He's just gonna be a teammate and do the best that he can in the role that he's been assigned. So it's just worth noting when a huge star, a wildly successful athlete, is humbled and how he takes, what is arguably the humiliation of it. And Manning, the Manning family is always, even if you don't like Peyton Manning or whatever, or you think Eli's a Gomer, they've always been a class operation.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that emanates from Archie and,
and the
mom.
mother.
Yeah,
yes, the mother who raised Peyton and Eli well.
Exactly.
And I emulate to be like her every day.
You do, as well you should. Now, contrast that, sticking with the NFL for a second and talking about leadership, Roger Goodell.
How's the poor little pansy doing? Did he get his private jet for life and health insurance for life for him and his family yet?
Well, there's still a little bit of a showdown between him and Jerry Jones over that. And I sure hope Jerry Jones wins. Holman Jenkins had a very good piece in the Wall Street Journal about Goodell and what the Goodell example, the takeaway of the Goodell example for corporate America, or frankly for any organization. And the point is that a tainted CEO quickly becomes the tail that wags every dog. Once you have the head of an organization that has, when the head of your organization who has sort of violated the organizational ethos and the public's trust in this case, because even though this is a private organization, it's a public franchise, it's got special treatment from the federal government, for example, it's time to go. Otherwise, as the saying goes, the fish rots from the head. And he remembers, I remember talking about this, the Ray Rice situation. Mm-hmm. And that's when Roger Goodell should have been fired. And I said at the time he should have been fired. You remember Roger Goodell and the Ray Rice. Of course, Ray Rice, the Baltimore Ravens running back who punched his girlfriend in the elevator and knocked her out.
And dragged her out, and there was video of it.
Right.
And everybody saw the video.
Goodell meted out a 2-game suspension for Ray Rice. That's what he did. Then it became a public firestorm. Then he concocted the story about how Ray Rice had allegedly misled him. Then he imposed a more severe penalty. It was about as mishandled as you could mishandle something like that. Now fast forward to his confrontation with Jerry Jones over the extension of his contract. And they're trying to get Jerry Jones not to own the Cowboys anymore. They're trying to push him out. Yeah, but what's one of the points of contention? Why has Jerry Jones lost faith in Roger Goodell?
Because he's bad at his job,
Well,
and he's making $32 million. He wants $50 million now.
$49 million. Actually.
$49. Okay, well,
plus
sorry.
access to a private jet.
Right, access to a private jet, health care for life for him and his family. But the ratings are down. This is the lowest the NFL viewership has ever been. And he wants a raise, and he wants to stay in his job.
Well, but there's something that's
I know,
specifically
it's this quiz that's driving me nuts.
It connects it back to Ray Rice, Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh yeah,
Ezekiel Elliott, the star running back for the Dallas Cowboys, who's been in this litigation over the length of his suspension for
beating up his girlfriend,
an alleged domestic incident. And by the way, there's a lot of conflicting reports about the quality of the charges against Ezekiel Elliott, unlike Ray Rice.
By the way, did you hear the 911 calls that she made? It's Claudia. Hi, yeah, I think he might be in a bad mood. Did he hit you? This woman, I think, is crazy. This is the Zeke Elliott and Ray Rice are completely different stories.
Well, that they are, and now
you should listen to those tapes.
And now,
it's unbelievable.
But because the league office is beset by politics, Roger Goodell is continuing to, kind of follow the zeitgeist wherever it may lead him and the NFL. Jerry Jones doesn't like that. But they should have got rid of him when he exposed himself for the political flim-flam man he was in the Ray Rice matter 3 years ago, right? Yep. So it's just a great cautionary tale. Eli Manning is a great example, and Roger Goodell and how NFL owners, all these captains of industry, chose to handle the head of the league, the commissioner of the league, is a bad example. As well as successful as Jerry Jones and all these owners have been privately, they really messed up by allowing a tainted chief executive to continue on after the Ray Rice incident. So it's just, I just think they're both very interesting examples of how to conduct yourself and how to conduct business. Greg and Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
As Steve Stone would say, for all you little leaguers out there, probably the number one thing that I've learned in life is that if you have your life placed in God's hand, then difficulties are going to turn out to your betterment. They are not going to defeat you.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for the call, Greg.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, the best Christmas gift I've ever received. But first, here's your forecast. Today, mostly sunny, cooler, a high of 47 degrees. Let's get into it. The Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Elgin, there's a water main burst. McLean near Spartan, that's south of 20 near Elgin Community College. Metra says expect delays on the BNSF, Southwest Service, and Heritage lines after a derailment last night at the south end of Union Station. About Kennedy, tight out of the River Road toll to Canfield. 21 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Edens is fine. The Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 39 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 23 minutes, 95th to the loop. Outbound 17 with some road work, 87th to 95th. Bishop Ford, 24 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Tollways are good. Jim Talamonte, Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
With the holidays approaching, now is the perfect time to purchase 2 gifts and only pay for one. Yes, the buy one, get one free offer is back from MyPillow, and you should go online or call now and take advantage of this by using the promo code Amy. You'll get the absolute best deal available. You know, I personally love MyPillow. I can't sleep without it. I can move the fill to give me support where I need. I could throw it in the washer and dryer. I love that it's made in America, and the owner, Mike Lindell, has helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillow as a gift for yourself by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. Promo code Amy.
It's that wonderful time of the year where you get to reconnect with family and friends, to celebrate, catch up, and just have fun. At Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill, they call that FaceTime. And whether FaceTime happens around your table or theirs, Augie's has been helping families and friends celebrate this busy and exciting season with great food at a great price for almost 40 years. Dine on their signature subs as big as your forearm, homemade Italian beef, hand-rolled meatballs, fresh, never frozen grilled burgers, and mouth-watering pizza. Surrounded by museum-quality memorabilia, Augie's offers a truly unique dining experience. With fast, fresh, affordable food, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill is ready to make your holidays with family and friends simple and easy. With fast, fresh, affordable food, Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill in Carroll Stream or West Chicago. Get your parties started now. Check out the extensive holiday catering menu at augustinos.com. From family gatherings to office parties, make FaceTime happen with Augustino's Rock and Roll Deli and Grill.
For a great corporate team building outing or special occasion like a bachelor party, birthday, or even a date night, get to Maxon Shooters Supplies. Dan Proft here with General Manager and highly qualified firearms instructor Sarah Natali of Maxon Shooter Supplies and Indoor Range. Sarah, tell us how Maxon can help listeners host an awesome event.
Thanks, Dan. Maxon is Illinois' first 5-star range and one of only 65 nationwide. We design private events around groups of new or experienced shooters, and our instructors are patient and friendly. We take care of everything you need, from eye and ear protection to targets and ammunition, and a choice of over 90 rental guns. If there's someone special in your life that you'd like to introduce to the shooting sports, we can help there too. Our instructors have years of experience and teach basic firearm safety in a safe and positive environment. And we'd love to share our passion for the shooting sports with you.
Thanks, Sarah. Book an event or ask questions anytime online at maxonshooters.com. Maxon is easy to get to, just north of O'Hare in Des Plaines. More info at 847-298-GUNS or visit maxonshooters.com, M-A-X-O-N, shooters.com.
Tasty Catering invites you to come together this holiday season and celebrate with great food and great company.
Since 1989, Tasty Catering has been planning memorable holiday office parties all over Chicagoland and bringing your team together this year in the spirit of the season.
Their delicious holiday menu at tastycatering.com features all the amazing appetizers and entrees, savory side dishes, and decadent desserts that you'll need for the ideal holiday office party.
From elegant plated dinners to casual company buffets and festive cocktail hours.
Stop by their Elk Grove Village Kitchen and meet their award-winning catering family and sample some of their new and classic holiday menu dishes.
The experienced holiday events team is ready to take you step by step through the planning process, simply and stress-free.
Don't delay. Call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 or view the holiday menu online at tastycatering.com.
That's 847-593-2000. tastycatering.com. Holidays. Gather, eat, and enjoy together.
AM 560, The Answer.
So you know my mother, Louise and Larry, we went to high school together.
Yeah.
So my mom always asked me, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want? She kept hounding me over Thanksgiving, and I don't need anything. So I had a brilliant idea yesterday, and I said, you know what, Mom? Make a donation to Food for the Poor in my honor. That would be the best thing, because she knows I went to Haiti. She knows how emotional I get when I talk about Haiti. And those kids that I met just stick in your soul. And we went to so many different orphanages, too. And this one kid who we called Thomas, you would have loved him, Dan. We didn't speak the same language, but I taught him how to play football. And
What did he call you? We call Thomas.
No, I called him Thomas, but
Yeah.
I don't know what I told him my
I don't
name
know
was
what his
Amy. So he's like, Amy. It was cute because they speak Creole and French, and I do not speak that.
Yes.
But we played football for a good half hour, and I taught him the J-hook and different routes to take, and we didn't have a lot of space, but he ended up being a really great wide receiver at the end, and we had a really good time, and then I let him keep the football.
Like a scene from Airplane. Yeah.
Stop it. But a one-time donation, just like my mom made, of $50, will provide Thomas with food for a year and water for life. The number is 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE. Or you can also go to 560theanswer.com, search for the keyword food. Trust me, it just takes a few minutes to help so many kids.
And then don't forget our business benefactor program, which is the opportunity to make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And in recognition of your gratitude, we here at AM 560 will provide your business 40 one-minute commercials that run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., so our prime broadcasting hours. All you do to enroll in the business benefactor program, call sales manager Michael Mann directly, 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann at 847-871-1527. Or you can go to our website, 560theanswer.com, and search for the keyword food.
And we thank you in advance for your generosity.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Business owners, it's likely you're working on your business plan for 2018, budgeting for different departments, or considering where to grow your revenue. It's going to be a busy new year. Have you included your IT infrastructure, network security, and your IT help desk and support? You know, IT can be one of those things that's out of sight and out of mind until there's a problem and everything comes to a screeching halt. Your IT systems are the backbone of your business and what makes everything run smoothly. And Turnkey IT is the company that makes sure your business doesn't miss a beat. Make 2018 the year to improve your network hardware, get into the cloud, and most importantly, get prompt, courteous, local customer support for your systems. Ready for a new and better year for your business? Start with a visit from your friendly, neighborhood trusted IT advisors at Turnkey IT, so you can concentrate on your business and not the technical stuff. Is your IT ready for 2018? Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro. A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the traffic this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the CTA Green Line, inbound trains are stopped at Harlem right now. There's a mechanical issue. Metro says expect delays on the BNSF, Heritage Corridor, and Southwest Service lines. Derailment last night near Union Station. Kennedy inbound heavy out of the River Road toll to Canfield. 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. Edens is clear. Inbound Eisenhower. 36 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 17. Bishop Ford, 24 minutes, 8094 to the Ryan. On Tri-State Tide approaching the Eisenhower. Traffic, service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year. Let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech and furniture, like maybe a new laptop, or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and mild. Some sunshine giving way to clouds. A shower in the area late in the afternoon. High 56. Patchy clouds tonight, colder with a low 34. Then tomorrow mostly sunny, high 47. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 37 at O'Hare. The news is a service of SoFi. Don't hit snooze when it comes to student loan savings. Refi with SoFi. Members save $288 a month on average. See your savings in 2 minutes. Visit SoFi.com/traffic. Terms, conditions, and state restrictions apply. CFL license number 605-4612. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following this morning on AM 560, The Answer. Authorities believe alcohol may have played a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago near Soldier Field that left 4 injured overnight. Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez will back Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia to replace him, as he will not seek re-election next year. Officials at Chicago State University say they can't predict how long students will have to remain housed in hotels and eat in the library after an underground pipe on campus is broke and is being repaired. Suns over the Bulls, 104-99 last night. Blackhawks fall to the Predators in Nashville. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. It's a missile that could hit anywhere in the United States. North Korea has tested its most powerful weapon yet, testing a missile into the Sea of Japan.
It is a situation that we will handle.
President Trump, they're not saying how he plans to handle it. More on the missile launch now from Fox's Simon Owen.
Chris, news of the launch was broadcast on giant outdoor screens in North Korea's capital, Pyongyang, people cheering as they watched. This man saying, "I feel like I'm hitting those Americans. I want to applaud our leader for his courage." North Korea saying the launch involved a new missile more sophisticated than any it's previously tested, and the country claiming that with this launch, it's achieved full nuclear statehood. Chris?
Simon, thanks. A Republican tax plan is now closer to a vote in the Senate. Live in Washington, Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Chris, the Senate could start debating the tax bill this afternoon. President Trump expressed optimism after meeting with Republicans yesterday.
Somewhat of a love fest. They want to see it happen.
But there are some holdouts. Senator Steve Daines and Ron Johnson want a better deal for small businesses. Johnson, who's on the Budget Committee, did vote to send the bill to the Senate floor.
When the President of the United States tells you he's going to fix your problem, he asks for your vote. I was more than willing to give it to him in conference here today.
Senators Bob Corker, Jeff Flake, and James Lankford are on the fence over concerns about adding to the deficit. Chris?
Rachel, thanks. A serial killer suspect is arrested in Tampa, Florida. Howell Emmanuel Donaldson, 24 years old, is accused of shooting 4 people at random in the same neighborhood over the last month and a half.
We received some information about Mr. Donaldson having a firearm at the McDonald's. One of his co-workers approached a police officer. That is what led us to that.
Tampa Police Chief Brian Dugan says Donaldson's charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Life happens. With ADT, you can feel safe with an ADT starter kit professionally installed for only $49. Call today and install an ADT starter kit that includes security panel, keypad, key fob, entry and motion sensors, and for a limited time, get a camera included and installed at no additional cost. That's a $449 value installed for just $49.
Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSB, and EasyPay activation. Early term fees may apply. Certain marks excluded. License available at ADT.com, Florida EF001121, UBZ F1639.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So yesterday, Kim Jong-un did his quarterly missile test, this time an ICBM that was in flight for 50 minutes, the longest duration yet, that descended.
It soared 2,800 feet in the air.
Yeah, and landed off the coast of Japan. President Trump had this to say about that.
A missile was launched a little while ago from North Korea. I will only tell you that we will take care of it. We have General Mattis in the room with us, and we've had a long discussion on it. It is a situation that we will handle.
And Mattis, was in the room and provided a little bit more detail.
It went higher, frankly, than any previous shot they've taken. It's a research and development effort on their part to continue building ballistic missiles that could threaten everywhere in the world, basically.
And so the question is, does that change our strategy with respect to North Korea or the geopolitical dynamics of our relationship with our allies in the region, including the South Koreans and the Japanese? For answers to those questions, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Jim Carafano, who is the Vice President of Foreign Policy and National Security at the Heritage Foundation, a West Point grad, 25-year Army veteran. Jim, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, good to be with you.
So the response from the president, just kind of a general reassuring, we'll take care of it. But does this missile launch and Mattis's comments that it essentially provides Kim Jong-un with the ability to use an ICBM to strike anywhere in the world, does that change our strategy, or should it change our strategy with respect to North Korea?
No, I mean, people kind of freak out every time they do these things. If you actually look at the development path of a nuclear program, what they're doing is just the steps you would normally see. So each individual step isn't a new provocation or a change. It's just like something coming off the assembly line. So now what they've demonstrated is they can get a missile to fly a long way, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. That means if you turn that missile around, shoot it the other way, and shoot over the North Pole, and it flies to the full extent of its range, you can range most targets, including cities in the United States, get the missile there in kind of under 30 minutes. Doesn't mean yet that you have a threat like a Russia or a China, because you don't have the numbers. And also, they've yet to demonstrate they can put a warhead on there, they can solve the problem of the warhead reentering, surviving the heat and all that. Eventually, they'll do that. Hell, we did it 40 years ago. I have to laugh, though, when I see people tweeting like, "Oh, we need to change our strategy." I mean, you don't do that. I mean, this is like 5 minutes after Truman announced the Truman Doctrine and say, "Well, containment's obviously not working." The whole idea of a strategy is you make a plan which is feasible, reasonable, and acceptable, and then you stick to it over time, knowing that you will achieve the outcomes that you want.
But isn't part of that plan to derail that North Korean nuclear program before it's fully actualized?
No, because you can't really do that. I mean, the only way you can really do that is go in and overthrow the regime or get the regime to voluntarily do that or under pressure. None of those things are going to happen. So what you can do is we have to go back to remember what are we doing here? What's our goal? And our goals are really twofold. One is that there's not a war in Northeast Asia because that's bad for everybody. And the other is that Kim does not have a capability that can threaten us, that he can do nuclear blackmail with the United States. Then you go back and say, well, can we achieve those goals without overthrowing the country or some unrealistic thing about just buying the guy off? And the answer is yes. Between the combination of missile defense, strategic and conventional deterrence, sanctions, we can really limit his capacity to build out any kind of missile arsenal that can threaten us. That's the rational, practical path forward. And when the President, General Mattis, and Secretary Tillerson talk about this thing, that's what they're talking about.
Well, don't we need the help from China, too, to make that happen?
Well, we're kind of in a win-win situation with China. I mean, the administration's actually been pressuring China. And what Trump has actually found, and he gets no credit for this, is by that consistent pressure and unwillingness to relent, China has gradually, because they don't want a war in the region either, gradually ratcheted up some sanctions. And I think what we're finding, as long as we continue that pressure, we may get a satisfactory answer out of that. But the truth is if China doesn't do it, we'll do it to Chinese companies. So it's going to happen either way. And so we're kind of in the driver's seat here.
And so talk to us a little bit about missile defense, because this is one of the components to the strategy as well, and certainly an important consideration for allies that are in close proximity to North Korea, like China and South Korea and Japan.
When people talk about nuclear strategy, often they're talking like we live in the 1960s, in the age of mutually assured destruction, where the purpose is everything is so devastating that nobody would dare do anything, right? That's not the world we live in anymore. We have gone from strategies with countries like Iran and North Korea, from a retaliatory strategy to what's called a protect and defend strategy, which is not only if you shot something at us, could we shoot something back and blow your country off the earth, but your missile will never reach us. And this is the idea of missile defense. And this administration, to its credit, has just put in $4 billion additional dollars in missile defense. The problem with missile defense under Obama was he was willing to do it because he didn't want to accept the criticism of not doing it. But he's just like, just give me barely enough missile defense so I can credibly say I have something that matches what North Korea potentially might do. What Trump is doing is moving to a strategy is, let's build so much missile defense that the bar is so high that the North Koreans can never dream in their lifetimes of ever actually having a credible threat that could reach the United States. That's the missile defense strategy that we should have had with North Korea all along. And I would argue if we had that strategy today, Kim might not be building these missiles, not because he doesn't want them, but because he realized it's a waste of money and a waste of time.
Well, how's our missile defense system now? I mean, can we sleep at night knowing we're not going to be nuked in the middle of the night?
Well, for two reasons. One is they haven't yet demonstrated they actually have a military capable weapon that can reach, that can get to the United States. So you can sleep well because they don't have it yet.
But that's not what everybody was saying yesterday. They were saying that if they put this, ICBM, a nuclear warhead attached to that it could reach Los Angeles, Washington, D.C. So is that just a lie?
Well, here's the deal, right? First of all, you have to have not just a developmental weapon, but you have to have a fleet of those to shoot at us, which they don't have yet, and so the actual production capacity. And the other thing is you have to put the nuclear bomb on the missile, which is you have to get it small enough to fit on the missile, which they'll be able to do. I have no doubt about that. But then you also have to demonstrate that warhead can survive reentry. And so that means that you can manage the intensive heat of coming back in. Like, we used to send astronauts into space in the Apollo and Mercury programs, and they come back in, you have the heat shield and all that. They have to demonstrate that as well. I am confident that they will at some point have a missile that could actually deliver a nuclear warhead against the United States. But I am also confident that if we stay on the strategy that we have, and this is the irony here, everybody thinks we're heading towards a crisis. If we actually stay on this path, we're not. We're actually heading in the opposite direction. Because by the time North Korea can build anything that's militarily capable, if the sanctions are working, they won't be able to build out their arsenal. Our nuclear missile defenses will be so robust that essentially they can't touch us. So the irony is if we stick on the strategy, what happens over time is North Korea to us actually becomes less dangerous, not more.
Now, is that that position on North Korea that you just articulated also applicable to Iran?
It would be. But the difference with dealing with Iran and North Korea is a crummy little country which is stuck at the end of the earth with nothing. Iran is in the middle of the Middle East. They have lots of resources, including energy, and they're not isolated in the way North Korea is. And they have innumerable surrogates in Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthi rebels and other things to screw with other countries. So Iran, in many ways, is a much bigger and more complicated problem.
Well, right, but I mean just specifically with nuclearization and their capacity there.
Right, and this again is where I think we lost ground under Obama because, we had a missile defense shield that was going into Europe, which would have protected Europe and the United States. And essentially he kind of gutted that with a system which wasn't as necessarily as robust. So again, we're playing catch up, and I think the answer is, whether it's our allies in the Middle East or Europe or the United States itself, the first thing we want to do is build missile defense shields which are so robust that the fence is so high the Iranians can never jump over it to start with. And that's the way you begin to start to deal with these threats.
And give us your best estimate on what the horizon is to get to the missile defense systems to where you suggest they need to be.
Well, if we fund at the level that this administration plans, and we continue to do the research and development on additional capabilities, what we're all looking for here is something that's called boost phase intercept, which is you have the ability to actually knock the missile out as it's actually flying up. The advantage of that is that that's good against everything: short, medium, long-range missiles. It doesn't matter where the missile's headed. It doesn't matter if it's headed for Paris or New York City. It's a tougher from a technical standpoint because one, you have to detect the missile right away. Two is you have to be able to get it when it's coming off, which means two things. Either you need something that's right close by, like a drone that's constantly flying around there waiting to take off, or you have an interceptor in space, which basically knocks it out as it's coming up. Those are technologies which are achievable under the current science, but they're actually not the most expensive things in the world, but we'd have to develop them, and that would take a couple of years. So if we start a research and development track on that, and we continue to build the family of missile defenses that we have now, which include long-range interceptors that are based in the United States, interceptors that are based on ships at sea, and also ones that we can put on land, which can deal with short and medium-range missiles, we'll be fine.
All right. He is Jim Carafano. By the way, you could get more of Jim Carafano. He's the featured guest on Against the Current this week at upstream-ideas.com. We cover the rest of the globe we didn't have time to cover today, including the status of the U.S. military in terms of readiness and modernization. Jim Carafano, Vice President of Foreign Policy and National Security at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks. Let's do it again.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, coming up next, another one bites the dust. The Today Show abruptly fires Matt Lauer. We will tell you why. But first, here's your forecast today. Mostly sunny, cooler, a high of 47 degrees. Tonight, we have a passing shower. And for Thursday, clouds giving way to some sun, still mild for this time of year, a high in the low 50s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dag. Good morning. Metra officials are advising passengers this morning on the BNSF and Southwest service lines. You can expect delays up to 30 minutes after a derailment last night on the south side of Union Station. Heritage Corridor passengers expect delays up to 15 minutes. Edens Expressway inbound, sluggish, Foster to Montrose, 20 minutes Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. The Ike, 43 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 31. Stevenson, now 54 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 40 from the Tri-State, outbound okay. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 17. I-57 is good. Bishop Ford, 23 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State heavy approaching the Eisenhower. The other tollways are fine, so is Northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart and other fine retailers.
There's no room for bull hogs or egos here. We're not individuals with our own agendas. We practice as a band of brothers, and we win as a team. It's all for one and one for all.
Lays it up, it rolls good.
Right here on the Husky Sports Network.
Your NIU Huskies take on the Milwaukee Panthers tonight at 8:15. NIU basketball is on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I do feel better, and my MS
I used to be right-handed, and now all my fine motor skills are gone. I can't write, and I cannot use knives. I can't, cut and cook. So then I got my husband's Balance Nature books out, and I'm like, oh my God, all the food that I'm supposed to be eating is stuff that's in these pills. So it's easier for me to take a pill because I can't chop up some things, and I can't, I just can't do that for myself. That's why I started doing this too, and I do have more energy that's working and helping me.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
AM 560, The Answer.
I don't know why I love this story, but Matt Lauer, we've just learned, has been released of his duties, fired from NBC. Andrew Lack said he was fired for inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. He's been there for 20-plus years. Actually, no, he got there in 1997, replaced Bryant Gumbel, don't you know? And this was a big announcement because they broke their own story.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. And Hoda's here with me at this morning because this is a sad morning here at Today and at NBC News. Just moments ago, NBC News Chairman Andy Lack sent the following note to our organization. Dear colleagues, on Monday night, we received a detailed complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by Matt Lauer. It represented, after serious review, a clear violation of our company's standards. As a result, we have decided to terminate his employment. While it is the first complaint about his behavior in the over 20 years he has been at NBC News, we were also presented with reason to believe this may not have been an isolated incident. Our highest priority is to create a workplace environment where everyone feels safe and protected, and to ensure that any actions that run counter to our core values are met with consequences, no matter who the offender. We are deeply saddened by this turn of events, but we will face it together as a news organization and do it in as transparent a manner as we can. That is the statement from our chairman, Andy Lack.
So he shouldn't have made that pass at Kathy Lee.
No, it's long been rumored and known that Matt Lauer is a little handsy at work. I met him several times, but I also, when I got fired from NBC, he called me because they wanted to fly me out to New York, and I said, well, what are your discretions? If I'm going to go on the air and tell you, what I did and how you think that was wrong and journalistically immoral, what have you done to get a story, Matt? And he started laughing. He goes, well, I can't tell you, but I've done some things. And I said, what, some things you're not proud of? And he said, yeah, I've done some things.
Yeah, every morning he does things that you shouldn't be proud of.
$28 million a year was his salary. He would get choppered in from his home in Long Island. I mean, seriously, this is sick. Would be choppered in to do the show and leave so he didn't have to fight traffic. And the king has fallen.
I hope Hoda's not inconsolable.
I don't know.
I mean, I just want to make sure Hoda's okay.
Or here's more from, I know she hasn't spoken yet because everybody's shaking and crying over there.
Sure, yeah.
And we just learned this moments ago, just this morning. As I'm sure you can imagine, we are devastated, and we are still processing all of this. And I will tell you right now, we do not know more than what I just shared with you. But we will be covering this story as reporters, as journalists. I'm sure we will be learning more details in the hours and days to come. And we promise we will share that with you.
You know, the first hint that something was going to happen, that they should have taken notice when NBC executives removed all the plants from the Today Show. That, oh boy, we've got a human stain problem in studio. Oh geez.
Well, he did hang out with Michael Bloom, or David Bloom, excuse me, and David Bloom was a sex addict.
Who?
He had
sex addict.
No, he did. He went
Good
to
grief.
rehab for his sex.
That doesn't make you an addict. That makes you a flim-flam man. Who is David Bloom?
David Bloom was a correspondent for NBC. He died. He had a blood clot in his leg. He was covering the war in Afghanistan. He was in one of the tanks and died. But he was very good-looking man. He and Matt Lauer hung out a lot, and I think they did some bad things. Conjecture on my part, but I heard that they used to roll together.
Well, it's one thing to hang out after work with somebody. It's another thing to act inappropriately in the workplace, and that seems to be what the honchos at NBC are suggesting Matt Lauer did.
Well, there's long rumors that he and Natalie Morales were having a fling. That's why they shipped her out to Access Hollywood on the West Coast to separate the two.
What is this? Access? Are we doing Access Hollywood right now?
I'm just telling you that it's going to come out. So I want you to know that I called this. I predicted this at Thanksgiving dinner. We were talking about who's next.
Like a Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
For sexual harassment.
No, I'm not kidding you. And I said, Matt Lauer, thank you. Thank you. I called it. I knew this is coming.
Congratulations.
I don't know what I get for my prediction, but except the old pat on the back.
I got an idea. I mean, you don't want these what's the Pelosiism? Oh, icons.
Icons.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a...
Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose. These are icons.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. What will he do next?
I've got an idea.
He can hang out with Billy Bush.
Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, new morning show, new network. Call it Morning Wood.
With special guest Billy Bush.
You're fired.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
I think it's so self-serving, though, of NBC to announce it at the top of the Today Show. I mean, that's a weird position to put your anchors in. Okay, Matt's not coming in today. Why? He's been fired. Here's a memo.
Well, we're still processing it. What's the process? He got fired because he's a lech. Anyway, moving on to the news of the day.
I mean, it's so strange.
All the caterwauling. Remembering Matt Lauer. Yawn. All right, anyway. I'll get on to important things of actually helping people.
Yes, helping people. We've begun our campaign with Food for the Poor. They're an excellent charity, largest international relief organization in the United States, and they provide life-saving food, secure housing, clean water, health care, emergency relief for people in just the poorest of countries like Haiti and Guatemala. And right now they are on the ground in the Caribbean helping those who are victims of hurricanes. Asking for a one-time donation of $50 that will feed a child for a year and provide clean water for life. Make a donation on behalf of somebody in your family who has everything. I know I mentioned earlier my mom made a donation yesterday on behalf of my name because I don't want anything for Christmas. I want these kids to be fed. That's what I want for Christmas. So call this number, 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE, or go to 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food.
And if we're going to get to our goal of 3,000 children provided with food for a year and water for life, then we're going to need support from our generous entrepreneurial community. That's why we have a business benefactor program, where any business that makes a $2,500 gift, tax-deductible gift, will receive as gratitude from us 40 60-second commercials for their business, which will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., on these airwaves to get engaged with the Business Benefactor Program for the benefit of your business, but also, of course, for those kids in Guatemala and Haiti. Call sales manager Michael Mann directly, number 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, who's our sales manager extraordinaire, 847-871-1527 is his number, or you can just go online to our website, 560theanswer.com, search the keyword food.
And it really is the best advertising deal in Chicago. So many, marketing directors always think, well, how can I take my business to the next level? This is a great way to introduce yourself to our audience and to get involved with a company that's a wonderful company. I love Salem. I love their values, what they stand for. And Salem always helps people in need, such as teaming up with Food for the Poor. So only here at the station in Chicago can you get 40 60-second commercials for $2,500. And remember that $2,500 is tax deductible, and the money will go to help the children in Haiti and Guatemala and in the Caribbean. So we want to thank you in advance for your generosity. And again, the number, Michael Mann, 847-871-1527. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Senate GOP inching towards a deal on a tax reform plan. What are the material changes? What are the remaining hurdles? We'll get those questions answered by Pete Sepp, president of National Taxpayers Union, at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
37 degrees. AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Matt Lauer out at NBC, effective immediately, where News Chief Andrew Lack sent a memo out overnight saying the network had received a complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by the longtime Today Show co-host. Police in Florida say the killer who terrorized a Tampa neighborhood is in jail. Officers arresting the 24-year-old man yesterday. He'll be charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. The State Department says North Korea's latest missile launch shows the isolated communist state is not serious about negotiating and talking. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert.
When they launch what we believe to be an intercontinental ballistic missile, they are not showing that they are serious about having conversations. Our ultimate goal is to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula. That has not changed.
Meanwhile, the UN Security Council has scheduled an emergency meeting on the latest launch this afternoon. A federal judge is ruling in favor of the White House in the power struggle at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which now appears to be over. Yesterday's decision leaves White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney firmly in charge of the banking watchdog agency after Director Richard Cordray resigned last week. The Republicans' big Senate tax bill moving to a floor vote after being signed off by the Budget Committee. GOP leaders hope to get that bill passed this week. The president is optimistic.
It was very special, that meeting. In many respects, I wish you could have been inside that room. It was very, very special. The camaraderie. It was somewhat of a love fest. They want to see it happen.
Trump speaking at the White House yesterday. A federal court is convicting the suspected ringleader of the 2012 Benghazi attack of terrorism charges, but the jury acquitted Ahmed Abdul Khattala of most charges, including murder, yesterday. Las Vegas police are looking for a man who walked into a casino carrying a gun and walked out with a lot of cash. It happened at the Bellagio late yesterday afternoon. The gunman walked up to a poker cage and demanded that cash, got away with a car parked outside the casino and left on the strip. Authorities believe alcohol was a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago that left 4 injured near Soldier Field overnight. Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez is backing Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia to replace him after the Chicago Progressive and Democrat endorsed Garcia yesterday afternoon, announcing he was not seeking re-election.
Chuy is the best candidate Chicago has to represent the 4th Congressional District. You know it, I know it.
For the moment, the 4th Congressional District congressperson has ruled out future bids for governor or mayor of Chicago, but left open possibilities. Authorities investigating after a 7-Eleven was robbed at gunpoint in Naperville last night near Deal Road and Route 59. Chicago sports found the Bulls falling to the Suns at the UC last night, 104-99. Blackhawks fall short in Nashville, losing to the Predators 3-2. The Fighting Illini didn't look good. They lost to Wake Forest in the ACC Big Ten Challenge 80-73. It was a Georgia Tech with the upset of Northwestern in the same ACC Big Ten Challenge. Georgia Tech with a last-second layup to beat the Wildcats 52-51. The news service of Accountemps. Business needs can change in an instant. From increased workload to year-end projects to staff absences over the holidays, Accountemps can help, providing accounting and finance pros with a temporary or project basis whenever and wherever you need them. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager sees nothing good coming out of universities.
It's very scary what our society is producing at our universities. Truth is not even a value. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the university is. They're islands of anger and hatred in the midst of decency.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 6:35, and let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Also problems on the rails this morning. Jim Talamonte.
That's right, Mike. Looking at the Metro situation, there was a derailment last night at the south end of Union Station. So Metro was projecting delays this morning on the BNSF, Southwest, and Heritage lines, and we have some. In fact, there's one cancellation on the Southwest service line and delays around 20 minutes. BNSF delays are only around 15 minutes right now, and we're also expecting delays on the Heritage Corridor line of about 15 minutes this morning. The expressways, delays on the inbound Edens from Niles Center Road to the junction. It's 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, now 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 30. The Eisenhower, 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, 37 from Manheim, outbound 34, 390. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 32 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Y57's clear. 8094 westbound a bit tight, Chase decline. Traffic is a service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year. So let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech and furniture, like maybe a new laptop or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We'll have a sunny day ahead, cooler, and a high near 47. Currently 37 at O'Hare, 42 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Lou Bridges Show. Get foreclosure defense solutions that may save your home. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
Let not your heart be troubled. Listen to me, Sean Hannity. I'll have the latest news and what it all means for you. It's coming up at 2 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Tweet from Sean from Elmwood Park. Where in the world is Matt Lauer?
Oh, too soon.
Yeah,
he was
good.
fired this morning, in case you're just joining us, after an allegation that he had sexual inappropriate behavior with an employee, but also in that memo from Andrew Lack mentioned that this might not be an isolated incident. That we're also presented with reason to believe this may not have been the only incident.
I'm trying to get out ahead of it. Sean from Elmwood Park also makes the point, It's too bad for Matt Lauer. He isn't a congressman. Then this could be buried in the ethics committee or the Byzantine process to file a complaint and then get a very private settlement from a member of Congress, Conyers style.
And we're also learning this morning reporters from the New York Times have been investigating Lauer for several weeks, so I'm sure that played into it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all right. Boy, you've heard that the people have spoken. All right, so the Senate GOP inching closer to a tax reform deal. The Senate proposal passing out of the Senate Budget Committee yesterday, so that's one hurdle cleared. And there seems to be a warming to a deal in the offing from the likes of Bob Corker and Ron Johnson. Could it all come down to McCain again? Oh, goodness, no.
Oh, my gosh, no.
Donald Trump commented on the likelihood of its passage yesterday.
We had a unanimous vote on the tax bill, and it goes now the next step, and I think we're going to get it passed. I think it's going to pass, and it's going to be very popular. It's going to have lots of adjustments before it ends. But the end result would be a very, very massive, the largest in the history of our country, tax cut. And lots of good things are going to happen, including the bringing back to our country of, it probably will end up being over $4 trillion money offshore that's stagnant, that companies and they're just not able to bring it back. So I think it's going to be a number over $4 trillion. Corporate will be able to compete now against the world. If you look at China, if you look at so many other countries, if you look at many of the countries, China's at 15%. They're lower than us. We're getting it down to a level that is either going to be lower or right in the ballpark so that we can compete much better with our companies, our great, great companies. And that means jobs, and it means lots of other things.
Yeah, and it sort of is an embarrassment, isn't it, that our corporate tax rate is higher than communist China? The state owning the means of production. For more on these topics, we're pleased to be joined by Pete Sepp. He's the president of the National Taxpayers Union. Pete, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
So let's do it this way before we do the handicapping in the Senate. What about either the House or the Senate version is most troubling to you? What would you like to see addressed that that could possibly be addressed in the Senate plan?
I'd like to see a little more effort at simplification. Of course, every time that you do the political favor trading to get the votes that will push the package through, it's usually adding something to the package. And that normally means creating another tax form, creating another exception in the law. That ends up in the administrative portion of the tax burden. And that's not good for the efficiency of our tax system. That being said, I think some of the major issues that still need to be resolved between the House and Senate bills will be, are they going to get rid of the death tax entirely, or are they going to keep it around only with a bigger exemption from the tax? How are they going to provide relief for small businesses? The Senate has a deduction that kicks in depending on what type of business you're in. The House has rate cuts instead. There are two different approaches to the same problem, but they really have to pick one or the other, whichever bill ends up reaching the president's desk. There are other matters to resolve about how international earnings are going to be taxed and how you're going to prevent what's called base erosion. These are all technical issues, but the important point is, as you were saying earlier, we are making substantial progress, clearing a lot of hurdles, and I would share the president's optimism that we have good momentum. Good momentum, though, doesn't mean success. It still means hard work ahead.
Well, Pete, one thing that I'm personally losing sleep over is the ability to write off the mortgage interest and property taxes for my federal income taxes.
Yes, well, I think that is headed in the direction of preserving some kind of deduction. It's important to remember the House's bill capped mortgage interest at the first $500,000 of indebtedness on a home. The Senate doesn't have that cap, basically preserves the mortgage interest deduction. The situation is reversed with the House bill as far as state and local tax deductions. It has a $10,000 property tax deduction you can take. The Senate gets rid of them entirely. I think actually they're going to split the difference in the right way. In fact, preserving the mortgage interest deduction and retaining some kind of property tax deduction. So I think you'll be sleeping a little better at night pretty soon.
Forgetting the hypocrisy of the newly minted deficit hawks on the left who agreed to, a doubling of our national debt over the last 8 years of Obama. There are Republicans who are worried about the deficits that the proposal could elicit. And so one of Corker's ideas was to have an automatic tax increase trigger if the additional economic and corresponding revenue growth that is being predicted doesn't come to pass. I don't like automatic tax increase trigger. Do you?
No, that's not a good idea. And of course, having that trigger out there, even if it's not actually engaged, really has an impact on business planning and probably individual planning. I mean, it doesn't have to actually take effect in order for people to think, well, goodness, maybe I shouldn't invest more money in that equipment for my plant, because if some arbitrary figure for economic growth doesn't come true, suddenly I'm going to be paying a higher business tax rate, and all of my balance sheets are torn into shreds. So we need to be very careful about those kinds of mechanisms. I think a better way to do this would simply be to have Congress confront the situation with spending reductions. That would be a way that everybody wins, especially taxpayers.
So if the economy is doing well, the job numbers are great, stock market is at an all-time high, home sales are up, why do we need to give corporations a tax break? Why can't it be a middle-class tax break?
Well, I think markets in part are doing well because they are having the expectation of substantial tax reform. If Congress doesn't come through with that, we may very well see a situation in the next year where financial markets are not performing as well. In addition, by standing still, we will keep falling further behind. President Trump alluded to that in his remarks prior to our discussion about China having a 15% tax rate. Well, we need no longer look further than our own trade partners for rate reduction examples, too. The fact is, all around the world, from the United Kingdom to Asian nations, corporate tax rates and other business tax rates are coming down. They are reforming their systems, and we are going to become less and less competitive as time goes on. We are hitting a high watermark here of what our economy can carry along on expectations. We're going to have to make actual policy changes if we want to keep our economy going and growing.
And even critics of the proposal concede that lowering the corporate rate and some of the other components of the plan would engender greater economic growth in the forthcoming years. But it seems like Republicans are still trapped in this equity game, right? And and responding to the tired and fallacious rhetoric of the left, the class envy rhetoric of the left about it's not a middle income household tax credit, or it's not a middle income household tax relief, and it's a tax cut for the rich and all this stuff. Point of fact, just some facts here. The top 1% pay 40% of all taxes. They did in 2014. The bottom 95% pay 40% of all taxes. So I'm sorry, where is the inequity exactly? I mean, the whole scheme, the whole graduated income system is redistributionist, fundamentally redistributionist. So it seems to me Republicans need to stop kind of apologizing for trying to move this along and engaging the terms of debate as set forth by the left and start talking about growth like you're talking about, Pete, and dispelling the canards about equity that the left is promulgating.
Yeah, absolutely so. And I point out that the 40% of tax burden that richest 1% of America carries is very, very high relative to other countries. I mean, even Scandinavian countries distribute their tax burdens more equitably, so to speak, across their populations through things like value-added taxes and high-income tax rates. In fact, that top 1% accounts for about 20% of all the income, and as you said, 40% of all the taxes, the income taxes. They're pulling twice the load relative to their income. That is highly progressive, and the tax relief that's being delivered through the Senate bill, for example, would result in a $2,200 reduction in a median income family's tax bill per year if the Senate legislation passes intact. That is a simple fact, and actually it's relatively easy enough to calculate if you want to sit down and add up the new standard deduction, the higher child tax credit, all of the new provisions. You can figure out how it affects you, and you'll be pleasantly surprised by the result.
Yeah, so for that median household of $50,000, that's about a 5% salary increase, what you just described. I mean, that's a real thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing. And that doesn't necessarily include the wage growth that a better economy will generate or the job creation. Tax Foundation has estimated 900,000 new jobs created under the Senate plan. More than 30,000 of those would be headed to Illinois.
Boy, that'd be new. Since we've created like net 3 jobs this century. Pete Sopp, president of the National Taxpayers Union. Pete, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Love you. Thank you. And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Southwest Airlines hit by website problems. Arby's adding Buffalo Wild Wings to its corporate menu. Chobani drops Greek yogurt from its label. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. Southwest Airlines apologizing after customers ran into problems on the carrier's website Monday and Tuesday. Some travelers unable to check in online. Southwest said it fixed a broken link in customer emails that led to the check-in problems. Arby's buying Buffalo Wild Wings, paying almost $2.5 billion. Buffalo Wild Wings has reported declining sales, dropping 2.3% in the most recent quarter. Chobani rebranding its Greek yogurt. The new look removes the words Greek yogurt from underneath the Chobani name. The yogurt inside stays the same. More than a cosmetic change, though. Chobani says the new identity will allow the company to go into other areas beyond yogurt. So why didn't they drop yogurt? Go figure. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey, as the flu season approaches, you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, but do you know how to protect your computer network? That nasty ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions, it could stop your company's computer network in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment today with Turnkey IT. Turnkey ID provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT knows and fixes the situation right away. They can arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop those virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst flu bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm doing great. I'm loving the balance of nature. I don't know, my hair feels fuller. I think my skin looks nicer. I do see like improvement, and I'm a very energetic person even with type 2 diabetes and everything. I always feel pretty good. So this is really, I think I even have more energy on this, which is great. You know, some products are, you know, just phony products and they just tell you. But the people from Balance of Nature, when you hear, like I listen to the radio show so many times and I'm like, what am I waiting for? Like, I should just try it.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So your son got home safe last night? Tom said he had a flat tire.
Yeah, he was out past curfew and got stuck on Route 1, but Liberty Mutual went out and took care of it for him.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, a flat, jump, or tow. It's no problem no matter where or when with their roadside assistance.
What was he doing out so late anyway?
Getting himself grounded for a month.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to CreditCard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358, and MLS 19186.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, let's help out some kids in real need in countries that are, failing to provide for their people. I'm talking about Haiti and Guatemala and our campaign this year to feed the poor, with Food for the Poor. 3,000 children is our goal to provide food for a year for them and water for life. 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala. How can we do that, Amy?
Well, you can make a one-time donation. We're asking for $50, and again, that will supply food for a year and water for life for one child in need. And that number is 844-862-4673, 844-862-HOPE, or you can visit 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food. It just takes a few moments. My mother, Louise, asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I already got the yoga mat for my birthday. I'm like, Mom, I don't need anything. Actually, and then the light bulb went off in my head. Make a donation to Food for the Poor on behalf of me, and that will be the best, because I was there and saw those kids when they received food and clean water and trinkets. Their eyes lit up. I mean, they really are gracious people. They're so appreciative of any help. And Food for the Poor, if they were not there on the ground in Haiti, tens of thousands of people would be dead. So please make a donation.
So be more like Louise or many of our generous business owners and operators who participate in our business benefactor program. Here's how that program works. Make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And as gratitude for your generosity, we here at AM 560 will give your business, 40 60-second commercials that will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., so our prime broadcasting hours. That is a market value well in excess of the $2,500 tax-deductible gift. To enroll in that program, call sales manager Michael Mann directly, 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, our sales manager, 847-871-1527, 1527, to get involved in the business benefactor program.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, Lauer and Louie are out for different reasons, but we'll explain why. But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan here with the stories we're watching this morning. A Lake Villa detective disciplined. We'll tell you why. 3 charged in a major Elmhurst burglary ring. Problems again on Chicago State's campus. This time a water main break is the main culprit. A court ruling cuts city's retiree benefits. We'll tell you why. Suns beat the Bulls. Nashville topped the Blackhawks. Beautiful start to the morning and a sunny day ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Another one falls. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Today's Show host Matt Lauer is the latest man now out of a job over claims of sexually inappropriate behavior. Live in New York, here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Yesterday, Matt Lauer hosted his last Today Show, and this morning his co-hosts, including Al Roker, are covering Lauer's firing.
Still dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it. We'll deal with it, and along with you folks as well.
A statement released by NBC Chair Andrew Lack says a detailed complaint was received Monday night from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by Lauer. It goes on to say it's the first complaint about his behavior in the more than 20 years he's been at NBC News, but they have reason to believe it may not be an isolated incident, Chris.
Well, Tanya, President Trump tweeted a few minutes ago, wow, Matt Lauer was just fired from NBC for inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. But when will the top executives at NBC and Comcast be fired for putting out so much fake news? The president says about North Korea's latest missile test, we'll take care of it. The United Nations Security Council holds an emergency meeting about the launch today. More on that missile now from Fox's Rachel Sutherland in D.C.
Chris, the successful launch was triumphantly announced on state-run media. Pyongyang saying the nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile is significantly more powerful than any before, and that the country is now able to strike anywhere on the U.S. mainland. Defense Secretary James Mattis says South Korea responded by firing pinpoint missiles in the nearby waters to make sure the North understands it can be taken under fire by the South. Chris.
Rachel, thanks. A suspect in a series of shootings in Tampa, Florida, is being charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Howell Emmanuel Donaldson, 24 years old, was arrested after a tip from a McDonald's co-worker that he had a gun. It's been matched to bullet casings from the murder scenes.
In the battle between darkness and light, light has won.
Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Sunrise in Chicago, 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A teacher at Downers Grove North High School this morning, apparently accused of sexually harassing a former student in a Facebook posting last week. A 1999 graduate of Downers Grove North High School, Jennifer Boudinot, claimed the assistant band director harassed her and her friends. School officials say the teacher has been placed on administrative leave, and the Downers Grove Police Department has opened an active investigation. Authorities believe alcohol played a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago that left 4 hurt. Police say a Toyota Camry traveling the wrong way hit a minivan last night near Soldier Field. 3 in the van suffered minor injuries, while the man driving the Camry is hospitalized in stable condition. 2 teens have pleaded guilty in the sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl that was streamed live on Facebook in March. In a plea deal with Cook County prosecutors, The 15-year-olds pleaded guilty to a single count of child pornography and will only be sentenced to probation. Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez is backing Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia to replace him. Chicago Democrat endorsed Garcia yesterday afternoon after announcing he was not seeking re-election next year.
Chuy is the best candidate Chicago has to represent the 4th Congressional District. You know it, I know it.
For the moment, Gutierrez ruled out future bids for governor or mayor of Chicago. A Lake Villa detective in hot water over a comment he made to a teen. Police say Detective Esteban Gomez was conducting a theft investigation this week when he ordered 5 teens to sit on the curb outside of a pawn shop. When one of the teens asked why he was being detained, the officer replied, quote, "Because you're white," end quote. The detective was disciplined after the video was posted on Facebook. The Illinois Supreme Court refusing to consider a challenge to Mayor Emanuel's plan to phase out health care coverage for city retirees. The decision leaves in place an appellate court ruling that upholds Emanuel's plan, saving the city $130 million a year, but leaving more than 20,000 city employee retirees scrambling to find additional coverage as the mayor's plan reduces coverage for retirees to only the small amount required under the state's pension code. Chris Dunn, 24, but the Suns beat the Bulls at the UC 104-99. Blackhawks fall to the Predators in Nashville 3-2. The Bears are preparing for a new quarterback. No, not one of their own. From the other team, Jimmy Garoppolo will start for San Francisco on Sunday. It's his first start for the Niners for the former Eastern Illinois star and Rolling Meadows quarterback. The news service of Sprint, just in time for the holidays. Get a great deal on a Samsung device with the best price for unlimited. Visit Sprint.com or call 800-SPRINT-1. Sprint works for me. Compared to similar unlimited rate plans from national carriers, carrier features differ. Restrictions apply. 7:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder adds common sense to the Roy Moore debate.
The allegations against Judge Roy Moore are indeed very, very serious. If these allegations are true, and Judge Roy Moore should know whether the allegations are true, of course he should get out. If they are not true, he should stand his ground. But I find it difficult to believe that every single one of these allegations is a lie.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Life happens. With ADT, you can feel safe with an ADT starter kit professionally installed for only $49. Call today and install an ADT starter kit that includes security panel, keypad, key fob, entry and motion sensors, and for a limited time, get a camera included and installed at no additional cost. That's a $449 value installed for just $49.
Requires 36-month monitoring contrast QSB and EasyPay activation. Early term fees may apply. Certain marks excluded. License available at ADT.com. Florida EF001121. Louisiana F1609.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Westbound 8094 is jammed. I-65 to Klein Avenue. A crash has cleared there. Edens runs 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 23. Kennedy. Inbound delays start at Cumberland. 54 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 28 from Montrose. 24 in the Express. Outbound 38 minutes to O'Hare. On Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to downtown. 46 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 39, 390. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 45 to the Tri-State. Outbound 39 minutes to 355. Ryan is 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Bishop. Ford 36. Northbound Tri-State, having 111th to 87th. Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial slow. The Boughton Toll to the Reagan Tollway and Findlay to Roosevelt. Metra has delays on the BNSF, Southwest Service, and Heritage lines after a derailment last night at Union Station. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Increasing clouds today with a late afternoon shower around, winds gusting up to 30 to 35 miles per hour, high 56. Tonight, patchy clouds, low 34. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 47. Then a shower late tomorrow night, low 38. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
37 at O'Hare, 41 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So about an hour ago, Al Roker took a dump in his pants again when it was announced that Matt Lauer has been fired.
Yes, nobody knew until today.
And nobody will know except Al Roker's laundress.
He's having a hard time processing this. He's shaking.
Yeah.
Dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it. We'll deal with it, and along with you folks as well.
Now I have to go change my pants.
Well, you say that because Al Roker, real quickly, I mean, you have to explain this.
He took a deuce in his shorts when he visited the White House. It happened.
And you even asked him about it on the radio
I
one
did.
time.
On another stage when I was at WLS. We had him on, and I asked him. He publicly talked about it, so I asked him about it.
And it's because of his lap band
and he
surgery,
ditched the underwear in the White House.
in the garbage? I hope he wrapped it up properly.
I think FICA said to bear the brunt of that. I don't know.
I can't believe you asked him about it.
Yeah, well, hey,
it happens. You know,
I'm still trying to process that actually.
All right, so they announced this morning. The staff found out. Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, everybody found out 5 minutes before they went on air that, oh, by the way, Matt's not going to be here, not today, but not ever. He's been fired for alleged sexual inappropriate behavior with a colleague. The complaint was filed Monday night. Matt Lauer was on the air yesterday morning.
You don't do that to Kathy Lee.
No, and they won't say who the alleged victim is, but they said that there's information to believe that this was not an isolated incident.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. And Hoda's here with me this morning because this is a sad morning here at Today and at NBC News. Just moments ago, NBC News Chairman Andy Lack sent the following note to our organization. Dear colleagues, on Monday night, we received a detailed complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by Matt Lauer. It represented, after serious review, a clear violation of our company's standards. As a result, we have decided to terminate his employment. While it is the first complaint about his behavior in the over 20 years he has been at NBC News, we were also presented with reason to believe this may not have been an isolated incident. Our highest priority is to create a workplace environment where everyone feels safe and protected, and to ensure that any actions that run counter to our core values are met with consequences, no matter who the offender. We are deeply saddened by this turn of events, but we will face it together as a news organization and do it in as transparent a manner as we can. That is the statement from our chairman, Andy Lack.
That's so ridiculous. Face it together. They act like their office just got hit by a North Korean missile. Hey, so they fired some lech. And by the way, I wonder, Holly from Hudson had a good tweet on this too. She said, where did she say? She said, all this processing being done by the morning news show hosts, phonies. They destroy lives on a whim and never look back. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
Well, he's been known to be, all those allegations and in the tabloids about him having an affair on his second wife. His first wife he had an affair on, got divorced. Second wife, she was going to leave him. They filed for divorce, and then she never went through with it. So there's been some, but that's his own business. That's personal matter. But when you bring it to the workplace, then it becomes a little bit different.
Well, it's also the difference between something that's consensual and something that's unwanted, right?
True.
I mean, and so.
And apparently there was some unwanted, some bad behavior from bad boy Matt Lauer. It's just shocking to me. Well, he made $28 million a year, the highest paid person on NBC. He's been the face of their franchise for 20 plus years.
Well, the obvious question, we got to move on now. You got to let it go, Amy.
No, I can't.
Please let him go. He's gone. He's gone, and there's nothing you can do about it. The obvious question, which Clinton or Obama aide will replace Matt Lauer? Because that's the talent pool, right? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Which former Clinton or Obama aide will replace Matt Lauer? Or, do you have another idea of another leftist that would be qualified?
I liked your idea. They should start their own morning show. Charlie Rose,
Yeah.
Matt Lauer, and Billy Bush as the entertainment reporter. Bill O'Reilly, political commentary.
Call it Morning Wood. Or Up in the Morning. How about Up in the Morning?
Up in the morning's a little bit better.
Yeah, you could probably get that past the censors. Up in the morning.
But Savannah went on to talk about Matt. I mean, this is, if you do work with somebody for...
Matt, no!
And we just learned this moments ago, just this morning. As I'm sure you can imagine, we are devastated, and we are still processing all of this.
Processing.
I will tell you right now, we do not know more than what I just shared with you. But we will be covering this story as reporters, as journalists. I'm sure we will be learning more details in the hours and days to come. And we promise we will share that with you.
Well, Savannah, you're so brave.
Well, she could start by taking a camera, walking through the halls of NBC going, hey, who did Matt Lauer sexually abuse or molest or hit on? Can somebody, if she wants to be a journalist, a dogged journalist, grab a photographer and start going door to door. Start with a makeup room. That's where it all begins.
And hey, Stinky, broker, put your hand down. I mean, this is just too much. I'm trying to process this too. We just lost yesterday.
Yes.
El Gaito, property tax cheat, terror sympathizer, racial demagogue. Now to lose another celebrated man of the left in just 24 hours, it's too much for me. It's too much.
Pretty soon we're going to have no anchors, no movie producers, no politicians.
Yeah, it's like what Dick the Butcher said about lawyers, right? Scott on the West Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. Thanks for taking my call. The whole problem with this sexual harassment issues in the workplace is just that a consensual relationship can become unwanted sexual advances when the relationship goes bad. And I think it happens quite a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also that the interpretation of the sexual harassment laws are constantly changing, and it's left up to interpretation by the local EEOC office, and there's really no hard line of what is and what isn't.
Thanks for the call, Scott.
I mean,
and for the double entendre, hard line,
but
really.
it could be a bitter woman who he broke off the relationship with, who's seeking revenge.
Well, do you think it's that, and NBC would move so quickly to ash can him?
I mean, Charlie Rose, at least they gave 48 hours to before they canned him.
Well, they had to give him time to get his pants on. So here's the thing about what Scott said, though. A Me Too hashtag is not a credentializer. He's right that the specifics of the allegation, we have to continue saying this because all the lines are being blurred. The specifics of the allegation and the evidentiary support matter. The credibility of the accuser and the allegation matter. And so we don't know more than what you heard from the prepared statement from the president of NBC that Savannah Guthrie read.
But honestly, I predicted this. At Thanksgiving, we were all talking about who's going to be next, and I said Matt Lauer.
And you got the bigger end of the wishbone, and so your wish came true.
Oh, yeah, right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bill on the North Side.
Yeah, they were so sorry when they started their broadcast. They were so sorry. Who were they sorry for, the victim or the offender that got caught?
Yeah,
also,
good question.
NBC standards are so high that they allow adulterers to work there, but just don't have one of your victims that you're having an adulterous affair with complain about it, because then we'll fire you. But it's okay if you can have, because he's been an adulteress for a long time.
Yeah.
Bill, that's NBC's, consistent with NBC's core values, as you heard.
That's what I'm talking about. They're so morally right on,
Yeah, thanks for the call, Bill.
And Savannah said, he's been a dear, dear friend, but she also says she's heartbroken for the brave colleague who came forward to tell her story.
Hoda.
Kathy Lee, you interview yourself.
Chuck on the Northwest Side.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. I would think that it was Hillary's revenge.
for that interview when he asked her that question, and afterwards she said, "I want to hang that guy."
Oh yeah, what did she ask him? What did he ask her?
Remember when they had the joint interviews with Trump and Hillary at that, was it on the naval ship or in an Air Force base?
Yeah. What did
he asked her a question that wasn't scripted to her, and afterwards she went into a big tirade of how she's going to get him because he asked her that question. I forget what the question was, but she wasn't happy and she had a fit afterwards.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Chuck. Well, I mean, gosh, I can only hope Hillary's responsible. That'd be delicious. I like when the left cannibalizes its own. Frank in St. Charles.
That question, and I speak from personal experience on this, does throwing somebody under the bus ever benefit the person doing the throwing?
You mean like the accuser?
Yeah, call it
Well,
that.
sometimes if there's a settlement, maybe, but
Sometimes people will throw somebody under the bus because it advances their career. It
Sure.
puts a little brown on their nose.
Sure. Yeah, well, that
guarantees employment.
Thanks
because
for the
you
call,
can't really
Frank.
File a complaint and then they fire you, then you can threaten a lawsuit.
Well, right. I mean, there's, in our litigious society with all of our delicate feelings and the jackpot justice system, there's all kinds of, and, the corporate weenies and their corporate councils that want to kind of just make everything go away rather than stand and fight on principle for anything. So absolutely people game the system, and absolutely there are false allegations, and absolutely there are social climbers who use false allegations to advance themselves. But, there's a lot of comeuppances for those individuals too, about something about what gaineth a man to...
Yes.
Well, what do you gain by getting the world and losing your soul is, the biblical reference. But there's no question. This is what I go back to say again, kind of like a off-color joke in the break room is not the same thing as attacking someone. And we seem to have lost those
The lines,
distinctions in
yep.
this conversation.
It's all gray area.
Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. If Matt Lauer had a soul left, Hillary, as a succubus, certainly could have extracted it during their brief contact. But I think I would be interested in seeing what's really happening behind the scenes. Put a camera on his dressing room. I want to see people wheeling away his custom chair, taking his stapler, the
gets a helicopter
espresso machine, like Wahoo jackpot, somebody walking out with a Matt Lauer jacket that was hanging in there. Because that place is getting cleaned out. It's probably already being measured up by Savannah or one of the other people for primo spots there. I wonder why they didn't have kind of like the missing man formation on the set.
The empty chair.
Thanks for the call, Ralph.
We'll fly around the world to a secret destination. Where in the world is
Matt Lauer? Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Plenty of sunshine today, a little bit cooler than yesterday, a high in the upper 40s. Tonight, a passing shower, a low of 38. And for tomorrow, what are you laughing at? You've got to reread.
A tweet from Kevin Rooney. I bet Natalie Martinez dropped the dime on Lauer because she got angry when her son started losing his hair.
Oh, that's good. Tomorrow, clouds, some sun, warmer, a high of 51. Into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center we go. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, Metro has delays on the BNSF and Southwest service lines up to 30 minutes after a derailment last night at the south end of Union Station. There's been at least one cancellation as well. Edens is 24 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 41. The Eisenhower's an hour and 3 minutes from 390 to downtown, 50 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 41 to 390. Stevenson now an hour and 7 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Northbound Tri-State delays from 111th to 87th, Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Veterans Memorial, out into the Reagan Tollway and Finley to Roosevelt. traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth, now heard regularly in 18 countries. What percentage of you listening to this commercial often say to yourself, what could I do to make more money, or how can we increase our business? I'm guessing that's most of you. Have you ever heard knock on the door and it'll open? Well, my friends at Income Store have doors you can open that can help you or your family make more money, or doors that lead to an increase in revenue for any business of any size. Income Store has 2 main doors on their website. These doors lead to over 2,000 revenue-generating ideas and products. Although a few of their products are pricey, 90+% of their growth formulas are delivered free or nearly free. Income Store's growth products and ideas have been publicized and featured on Forbes, Inc., USA Today, and recently the Biography Channel. Could your household or business use a revenue shot in the backside? Are you sick of your checkbook talking back and saying no? If so, you need to knock on the doors of IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Lake County Right to Life is looking for like-minded people to help save lives, to support women, mothers and fathers, unborn babies, families, and the elderly. Can you help? Lake County Right to Life takes an active part in both the educational and lobbying aspects of the Right to Life movement. They recognize the need to become actively involved in electing pro-life, pro-family legislators, and formed the Lake County PAC to elect local Lake County candidates who support life-affirming legislation on your behalf. Legislation that saves thousands of lives and doesn't impose on you, the taxpayer, for the lesser good. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but it takes all of us working together to accomplish a society that celebrates life and protects our most vulnerable. For donations or information about educating the public concerning current life issues and legislations, go to the Lake County Right to Life website, lcrtl.org. That's lcrtl.org. You can also follow Lake County Right to Life on Facebook.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I manage a construction site, and the other morning we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know. Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Before I started taking this Balance of Nature, I had no energy. Since I've been taking this Balance of Nature, I have had the energy, and I just thank God. It's really been a blessing to me. Even my eyesight seems to be better because my other glasses I couldn't wear. It wasn't strong enough. But when I put the other glasses on, the one that was kind of weak, I could see so clear out of them. I said, what is this?
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
We have begun our campaign with Food for the Poor. It's the largest international relief and development organization in the United States. 95% of all the money they raise goes directly to help those in need in places like Guatemala, the Caribbean islands that have just been ravaged by hurricanes, and places like Haiti. To define poverty, I think you really have to see it for yourself. It's unlike anything I've experienced. It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. 1 in 1,000 kids die before the age of 5 because they're malnourished. So Food for the Poor not only offers them a way to teach them how to grow their own food, how to fish in the sea, to provide for them their families. They also build schools because education is the best way out of poverty. And in Haiti, they're a very strange school system. You have to have a uniform and have all the books purchased before they even let you enroll in a school. And people can't even afford food for their family for a day. We went to one village, and I asked this child, when was the last time you ate? And I said, did you have any food today? We did this through an interpreter, and he couldn't remember the last time that he ate. So we're asking for a one-time donation of $50. With that, you'll provide food for a year and water for life for a child in Haiti. Here's what you do. You can call this number, 844-862-HOPE. That's 844-862-4673. Or simply visit 560theanswer.com. That's 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword food. But there's other ways to give.
Yeah, the Business Benefactor Program. This is a program we've run before in conjunction with this campaign. It allows for our successful business owner-operators out there to make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And in exchange for your generosity, we're going to show some gratitude by providing 40 60-second commercials for you and your business that would run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours on these airwaves. That's significantly more than a $2,500 value. To get involved in the Business Benefactor Program, call our sales manager, Michael Mann. His number, 847-871-1527. Again, that's our general sales manager, Michael Mann, 847-871-1527.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Steve Moore gets taken to task by Ezra Klein on taxes. We'll talk to the former individual, Steve Moore, at 7:37 about the tax plan and also about that coup attempt by leftist bureaucrats at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
And save the date. New details on the royal wedding and what's next for the bride-to-be. But first, let's go into the newsroom. I'm hoping we can get to that story. Here's Blake Scott.
We need to know what to wear. 38 degrees outside. We have sunshine. Beautiful start to the day. Here are the stories we're following here on AM 560, The Answer. As Dan and Amy have been talking about with you this morning, Matt Lauer is out at NBC effective immediately over sexual misconduct allegations. NBC News Chief Andrew Lack sending a memo overnight saying the network had received a complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by the longtime Today Show co-host. Police in Tampa say they've arrested a man who killed 4 and terrorized the neighborhood for more than a month. Officers arresting Howell Donaldson III yesterday. He will be charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder in the killings in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. The State Department says North Korea's latest missile launch damages the chance of talks over the country's nuclear program. The State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert saying the ICBM launch shows the isolated communist state isn't serious about negotiations.
I imagine today that they are understandably nervous. We've had a period of relative calm, if you would call it that, since September 15th, since the last testing. But nevertheless, that is a huge concern.
Meantime, the UN Security Council has scheduled an emergency meeting on the latest missile launch for this afternoon. The Republicans' big Senate tax bill moving to a floor vote. Senate Budget Committee signing off on that bill yesterday. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
We do have a few members who have concerns, and we're trying to address them. And we know we would not be able to go forward until we get 50 people satisfied, and that's what we're working on.
GOP leaders hope to get that bill passed this week. A man accused of shooting from a Reno, Nevada apartment building into a downtown street is dead. The man barricaded himself in an 8th-floor apartment and, according to officers, was holding a woman hostage last night. At least one person was hurt. A teacher at Downers Grove North High School is accused of sexually harassing a former student. In a Facebook posting last week, a 1999 grad of Downers Grove North claimed the assistant band director harassed her and her friends. School officials now say the teacher has been placed on administrative leave, and Downers Grove Police Department says they have opened an investigation. Authorities believe alcohol may have played a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago that left 4 seriously hurt. It happened overnight near Soldier Field. Officials at Chicago State University say they're not predicting how long some students will have to be housed in hotels after an underground pipe on campus broke and needed to be repaired. The break occurred Friday while students were away on Thanksgiving break, but it left a residence hall and the student union without heat or hot water. Suns over the Bulls, 104-99 last night. Bulls have lost 6 straight. The Nuggets are in tomorrow. Blackhawks rally, falling short in Nashville, falling 3-2 to the Predators. ACC Big Ten Challenge college baskets. Fighting Illini fall to Wake Forest. It was a loss for Northwestern, falling to Georgia Tech in the last second, 52-51. Purdue upsets number 17 Louisville. The news service of Chevrolet. It's the Chevy closeout, and the 2017s are going fast. Find special closeout pricing on many of their most popular 2017 Chevy models. Visit your local Chevy dealer and trade up to a new car, truck, or crossover today. Chevrolet, find new roads. 7:33, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is turning to the positive.
Anywhere else, you see that Trump claims that Putin didn't meddle in our election. There's such deception and such a fierce outrage. I just don't know when we're going to get the cork back in the bottle. I'm choosing right now in my life to look at some positives.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This Christmas, bless your friends and family with meaningful Christmas gifts from the BillyGrahamBookstore.org, where every purchase helps fund the ongoing worldwide Christian ministry of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Order online now at BillyGrahamBookstore.org.
So many tools all over the place and not enough cabinet space. This garage is a mess. Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA in Kankakee with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call the owner, Mike Ryan, personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STOR-LOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. Don't miss StoreLock at the Greater Peoria Farm Show at the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria, November 28th through the 30th.
7:35. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We're seeing construction delays on the westbound Indiana Toll Road past Klein Avenue to around 20 in East Chicago. Westbound 8094 is heavy. I-65 to Burr. Delays on eastbound 390 from Beecham, 53, and then delays on southbound 53 from Beesterfield, 355. Northbound, the Veterans Memorial is really heavy now. From I-55 most of the way up to St. Charles. Edens is 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 32. Kennedy, an hour and 22 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 40 minutes from Montrose, 39 in the Express. Outbound 43 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 45 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 41 minutes. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive delays are from Irving Park to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Beautiful start to the day. A warm afternoon, 47 for a high temp under mostly sunny skies. Becoming cloudy overnight with a passing late shower, low 38. 38 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and we'll get back to the schadenfreude that we're feeling over Matt Lauer and El Gaito going away. But we got to talk taxes here with the Senate GOP tax plan still hanging in the balance, although progress seeming to be made. Here's what President Trump had to say with respect to his optimism that the Senate will move something out so that it can be reconciled and gotten to his desk before the Christmas holiday.
We had a unanimous vote
on the tax bill. And it goes now the next step, and I think we're going to get it passed. I think it's going to pass, and it's going to be very popular. It's going to have lots of adjustments before it ends. But the end result would be a very, very massive, the largest in the history of our country, tax cut. And lots of good things are going to happen, including the bringing back to our country of, it probably will end up being over $4 trillion money offshore that's stagnant, that companies and we're just not able to bring it back. So I think it's going to be a number over $4 trillion.
And among other benefits that the president suggests. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Steve Moore, chief economist for the Heritage Foundation, CNN senior economist, Wall Street Journal columnist. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dan. I'm sorry this morning I'm a little filled with grief over the Lauer story.
Are you still processing it? Because there's a lot of processing going over on
you got to process
NBC.
that.
Well, the great thing about that story, by the way, I know we're going to talk about the tax cut, is, Matt Lauer was just browbeating Bill O'Reilly.
That's right.
About his sexual misconduct. We got to dig up the audio of that one.
Yes.
Actually, we played some of that here.
That's good stuff. All right, Steve Moore.
We're going to get this tax cut done. We made a big gain yesterday, getting it through the Senate Finance Committee. I've been meeting pretty regularly the last couple of days with the senators on the fence, people like Jeff Flake and Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and Corker of Tennessee. I think they're all very gettable. I think they are going to get the 50, 51, 52 in the Senate. And I think look, it isn't a done deal, but I think they're well on their way to getting this passed. And I'm feeling probably more confident today than I have any time in the last 3 or 4 months that we get this historic tax cut done. And I got to tell you, if you do this tax cut with the 20% corporate tax rate and you do the immediate expensing, allow businesses to write off their capital purchases, for buildings and machinery and things like that, you're going to see the biggest boom in the first half of 2018. It's going to be a gigantic. I think you could see 4.5% growth rate, something we haven't seen in this country in 20 years.
Well, it's strange. The two lame duck senators, Corker and Flake, are now concerned about increasing the deficit.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything to that, or are they just trying to be, agitators to President Trump?
Oh, look, I mean, first of all, the deficit, the spending side of the equation, which as soon as we get done with this tax cut, we can talk about that, but it's a disaster. I mean, the Republicans on fiscal restraint are a complete disaster. It's indefensible. They're increasing the caps this year by more than $100 billion. These are Republicans. So, the problem, Amy, is not the tax side. It's the spending, which is completely out of control. And then these same people want to blow the lid off the caps, say, we got to do something about the deficit. But look, you got to get the economy growing if you want to get more tax revenues in. You got to get the growth rate up. You got to get more people working. You got to get companies more profitable. You got to get less people off welfare, more people working and paying taxes. If you do that, you go a long way to at least stabilizing this enormous national debt. But there will probably be, there's this new talk about a trigger, Amy, where if they don't reach the growth rates that they expect, they would increase the corporate tax rate a little bit. I'm fine with that, but I told Corker, I met with him yesterday, I said, look, if you're going to have that, the trigger for a higher tax rate, if we don't get the growth rates we expect, then if we go above the growth rates we expect, can we then reduce the corporate tax rate by another percentage point? So I don't know. What do you think about that idea, Dan?
Well, I don't like the automatic tax increase. If you're going to do it one way, then do it the other. So at least you're still incentivized to cut spending so that you're not crowding out private sector investment. So I guess if that's what's required to get this to get the 50 votes that are necessary, then these are the difficult compromises that you have to make, I suppose.
Yeah, look, I mean, is this the bill that I would want? Exactly, no. I give this grade a B as in boy. So it's a good bill. It's not a great bill. I do think Ron Johnson from Wisconsin has a good point, Dan and Amy, about the small businesses. His complaint is, we do a lot for the corporations, like Apple and Google and Boeing and companies like that. But the small businesses get some benefit, but not nearly the benefit that the big ones do. So, I'm working with them to try to, let's get that rate down lower for the small businesses, because 60% of jobs are created by employers, with less than 250 employees. And a lot of them are, employees that have employers that have maybe 10 or 15 workers. So I think there's going to be some fixes and tweaks to the bill, but we're well on our way.
Can we fix to make sure that we can still write off our mortgage interest deductions and property taxes for my federal income taxes, or does it depend on where you live and how much your home is worth?
Yeah, so I think what they're going to end up with, by the way, I hate the state and local tax deduction. I think it's the worst feature of the tax code. I think if people in Illinois want big government, you're welcome to it, but the people in other states shouldn't have to pay for that. Now, I think where this is going to end up, Amy, is they're probably going to have a $10,000 cap on your property taxes. So you get to write off property taxes up to $10,000, and if they're above that, you pay, you lose your, your federal deduction on the amount above that. By the way, $10,000 for property tax, that's a lot of money. So you have to live in a really, really high tax state like Illinois to exceed that $10,000 level. But your state income taxes are no longer going to be deductible, and that's a good thing. We shouldn't, if you look, folks, if you want to pay lower income taxes, move to Texas, Florida, or Tennessee, and get the hell out of Illinois.
And the mortgage interest deduction?
I hate the mortgage interest deduction too. I just don't think, if Bill Gates built a massive mansion, or LeBron James, that they need to have a tax write-off for that. But, look, this is pure politics, guys. I mean, K Street is still alive and well. The swamp is still filled with swamp creatures, and I think the realtors and the mortgage, brokers and so on will probably get their way, and they probably won't touch the mortgage deduction. I like the idea of just capping at $500,000. Which is, I think, what the House does, but I don't think that because look, the most powerful union, interest group in Washington is probably the housing lobby, and they always get their way. So I don't think we're going to probably put a cap on the mortgage deduction.
Oh, so you don't no cap, no $500,000, no $1 million cap?
Probably not. I mean, that's not decided yet. But if I were betting then, I'd put my money with the home builders and the realtors.
Yeah, it's funny because that's as the left is arguing that this doesn't benefit the middle income family in America. Really, you've got all of those deductions, even under what Republicans have proposed at present for middle income families. I don't know a lot of middle income families that are living in $1 million homes or paying $10,000 property tax bills. I mean, except in Illinois.
Well, yeah. Now, the other big deal in this bill, Dan and Amy, is getting rid of the individual mandate penalty under Obamacare. Now, I'm here to tell you, if you get rid of the individual mandate, which, by the way, is a tax on low-income people and young people, you're going to put Obamacare into a even faster motion death spiral. Because what's going to happen is people, more and more Americans are just going to decide they don't want anything to do with Obamacare. They will opt out, and they'll buy, health savings accounts or other insurance plans that make more sense for them. So this idea of just giving people the option of opting out is a great idea. It is going to lead to the eventual repeal of Obamacare because the plan isn't going to work anymore. And, the average person who pays that tax penalty earns $35,000 a year. So Democrats are having a hard time explaining why they have to force people to buy. I mean, isn't this amazing? Think about this, guys. We subsidize people through the roof to buy Obamacare. We penalize them if they don't buy Obamacare, and people still don't want it.
I want to switch gears because I know this is a particular bête noire of yours, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and this coup attempt by bureaucrats, Cordry's out, and now this Leandra English playing the role of George Costanza. They got their head handed to them yesterday by in court, suggesting that Mulvaney is actually the acting head, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau doesn't exist outside of the federal government without any accountability to the executive. What if now that Mulvaney is in charge, and now that we see just the disposition of those in the agency, in addition to the negative impact the agency has more generally, wouldn't we like to see the Trump administration just get about repealing Dodd-Frank and getting rid of this agency?
Yeah, on this issue of the Consumer Finance Protection Board, I mean, this is so typical of Washington, Dan and Amy. There are already 6 or 7 consumer financial protection boards in Washington. I mean, there's one at HUD, there's one at the Federal Reserve, there's one at the Treasury Department. I mean, we've already got this covered, guys. I mean, it's so typical that we duplicate. We have agencies that in one branch of government, agency of government that do exactly what another one does. And so, if we get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Board, it's not as if all of a sudden there's not going to be any consumer financial protection. And by the way, the left is going crazy because Mulvaney made this point that this is a stupid agency that I forget the quote, but he said something like, it doesn't accomplish anything. We should get rid of it.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people I do want Trump putting in charge of these
Yeah.
agencies. We want to downsize government. We want to get rid of the wasteful agencies. And, I think that was something that made him absolutely fit for this. And one of the problems Ronald Reagan made is, he said he wanted to get rid of all these agencies, and then he put people in charge of the agencies who lobbied to keep them. So I applaud Trump for doing this. And, in terms of Dodd-Frank, this is a really tough one because, the House has actually passed a bill that largely, guts Dodd-Frank, which has had a negative impact on our community banks, but it's stalled in the Senate. It's just not moving there. So are we going to get Dodd-Frank repealed? I'd like to say yes, but probably not.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, senior economist for CNN and Heritage Foundation economist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
So, Dan and Amy, what are you guys going to do with all the money you're going to save?
Amy is a very high-income earner, so she's not going to save money under this plan.
I think I might save, but I don't know. Well, I'll buy you a nice Christmas gift.
We're gonna buy the
big present if we get this thing done.
I'll get you a Bitcoin because it's now at $10,000.
There you
How
go.
Does that sound?
Yeah.
And by the way, if we get this thing passed, I'm getting on my white horse. I'm riding out of town. I'm coming back to Chicago.
All right, finally, the
Nice.
cavalry, finally. All right, Steve, thanks.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Some breaking Matt Lauer news. Now we know what he allegedly did. We
And
tease
to,
that.
and to which plant he
and
did
to
it?
whom? No, it's not a plant. It's
Oh.
a person.
And?
It's called a tease. But
Is
first,
it-
here's
is
your
it-
forecast.
Is it Roker?
Dan, you'll have to wait to find out. Plenty of sunshine today, a little cooler than yesterday, a high of 47. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. I can tell you the person he did not assault, and that's Jim Telemonte.
Yeah, thankfully I've never been near the man. Thanks, Amy and Dan. Metro reports delays and cancellations on the BNSF and Southwest service lines after a derailment at Union Station last night. Kennedy's a mess. An hour and 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown, no quicker, or barely quicker in the express. Save maybe 2 minutes. Outbound 49 minutes to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction. Outbound 34. Inbound Ike, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 44 minutes. Stevenson, an hour 16, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. Heavy on the southbound Tri-State, 21 to 176. Northbound Veterans Memorial, southbound 53, heavy also. Jim Telemonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
You know what? They do make me feel better. I really do. Like, it has helped me a lot. It gives me energy. They're working out for me, and so I'm really, really happy.
When I first started taking it, someone mentioned my my skin, and that was like within like the first couple of weeks, and I thought, wow.
I feel like $1 million. Really love the product. I gotta tell you, I don't no longer have those energy lows at 4 o'clock when I'm falling asleep. I am doing things I ordinarily would not do.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little. You make too much. You don't pay enough. You didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
We went through the experience with Townstone. The experience was amazing. We had a point person that took control of the refi. The communication was specific and exactly what we needed to do. That I was never in the dark in the process. So I knew when I needed to get documents. I knew exactly what I needed. I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage license C 6629 and NMLS 136639, equal housing lender.
Looking for that magical holiday gift and not sure where to go? Don't worry, I have the perfect place. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher here to tell you that you need to give a gift from Roland's Jewelers. They'll help you create that magical holiday moment. You know that buying jewelry is all about trust. Well, Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville is a place you can trust. Who else would offer AM 560 listeners up to $500 in savings on designer brands like Mickey Moto, John Hardy, and Roberto Coin? You can also save on luxury watches you love, like Tag Heuer, Michelle, and Shinola. You know, as an AM 560 listener, you'll save up to $500 at Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. Visit RolandsJewelers.com, ROLLAND, RolandsJewelers.com. And this holiday season, trust Roland's to make all your gift-giving magical. Roland's Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, according to Page 6, this allegation of sexual assault, not just sexual harassment, took place in Rio de Janeiro last year, or a year and a half ago during the Olympics. Page 6 saying an NBC staffer came forward with a claim that Matt sexually assaulted her at the Olympics. There's been rumors about him having affairs with subordinates at NBC for years, but those were believed to be consensual. The incident in Rio was not.
What about any indication about the indication from the NBC News chairman that there was a belief more allegations could be coming?
That has,
no basis for that yet.
No basis for that yet, but that was part of Andrew Lack's statement when they announced it this morning that he was being fired.
I hope El Roker hasn't been hitting the Metamucil, because this could be a tough day for him. Where's Roker? He's in the bathroom again.
He was shaking during his weathercast.
Dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll deal with it, and along with you folks as well.
Better follow him around with a pooper scooper.
Savannah Guthrie said, "How do you love someone who has behaved badly?"
Is this Days of Our Lives or a morning show?
No, that's what she was contemplating.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's get on to serious business about helping people.
Yes, Food for the Poor, that is who we have paired up with again this year in our campaign to raise to raise enough money to provide food and water for 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala, and we cannot do this alone. We need your help, and we're asking for a one-time contribution of $50, and with that, 95% of what you give will go directly to help those in need, provide water, shelter, schools, medicine, vaccinations. Here's what you do. Call this number, 844-862-HOPE, 844-862-4673, or visit 560theanswer.com. Search for the keyword food. $50 is what we're asking for. If you can only donate 10 or 20, that's fine. If you want to make a donation on behalf of somebody who has everything for the holiday season, just make a donation. My mom made a donation in my name yesterday, so let's get this done.
All right. You make a donation in Matt Lauer's name.
Oh, too soon.
No.
No.
Al Roker?
No.
Louis Gutierrez?
Definitely not.
In addition to the individual donations, an opportunity for business owners, operators, our entrepreneurial friends, the Business Benefactor Program. This is the opportunity to make a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor. And in exchange for your generosity, we're going to offer a little bit of gratitude, 40 60-second commercials for your business that will air Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., so our prime broadcasting hours. On these airwaves, that's 41-minute commercials. That's a market value well in excess of $2,500. To get involved in the Business Benefactor Program, call sales manager Michael Mann directly at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, who's our sales manager, 847-871-1527, and he'll get you enrolled, or if you want to just do it online, you can visit 560theanswer.com and search for the keyword food.
And again, it's the best business deal. I mean, if you're make the marketing decisions for your company, if you own a small company and you've thought that you want to get into radio advertising or promote your business on the radio, I should say, this is the best deal in Chicago. And really, you should jump on this. Just call Michael Mann if you have any questions. He will answer all of your questions. 847-871-1527. Again, that's 847-871-1527. This sells out every year, so act sooner rather than later. $2,500. It's tax deductible. The money goes to Food for the Poor, and then we'll give you 40 one-minute commercials.
And if we don't hit our goal of to provide food for a year and water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala, then we have to turn over Amy Jacobson as a ward of the state to the Haitians. So if you want to save Amy Jacobson's status as an American citizen living in Tony Lakeview, you'll participate in the program.
Tony Lakeview. Well, you should sacrifice you, huh?
No interest.
Coming up
Not
on
much of a bargaining chip.
Yeah, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to our friend Colonel Cedric Layton, military analyst for CNN, about the latest North Korean missile test at 8:08.
And later, Luis Gutierrez El Gaito is gone, but why is he really leaving? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
A teacher at Downers Grove North High School is accused of sexually harassing a former student. That tops our news, and we'll have that story for you coming up. Congressman Gutierrez, not seeking re-election, will get reaction after his endorsement of Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia. 3 charged in Elmhurst burglaries. Chicago State group of students facing big problems after a water main break on campus. Suns beat the Bulls last night, while Nashville topped the Blackhawks. And a beautiful day ahead, mostly sunny and cooler with a high of 47. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Matt Lauer is out at NBC. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News, and like a lot of other powerful men recently, it's over accusations of improper sexual behavior. Live in New York, here's Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Matt Lauer is no longer part of the network he's been with for more than 20 years. His Today Show co-host, Savannah Guthrie, reacted to the news on this morning's show.
We are devastated, and we are still processing all of this.
She also read a statement from NBC Chairman Andrew Lack, which says on Monday night a colleague reported a complaint of inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace against Lauer. It goes on to say they have reason to believe it may not have been an isolated incident. Chris.
Tanya, thanks. The latest missile test launch by North Korea could be capable of landing anywhere in the United States. More from Fox's Simon Owen in London.
Chris, that's the claim from North Korea. State TV saying the launch featured a newly developed intercontinental ballistic missile, more sophisticated than any North Korea had previously tested, and the country saying it is now a fully fledged nuclear state. The launch condemned by North Korea's neighbors, Russia calling it provocative, China expressing grave concern and opposition, and the South Korean president saying the situation risks getting out of control. Chris?
Simon, President Trump on Twitter this morning retweeting unverified videos claiming to show Muslims physically attacking non-Muslims with captions like, Muslim migrant beats up Dutch boy on crutches. They originally came from the account of a British far-right political party. The president passed them on without comment. Police in Reno, Nevada shoot and kill a man firing a gun from an 8th-floor condominium. Nobody else was hurt. A woman described as a hostage is okay. This woman's friend lived in the building.
She said that her and her boyfriend are laying on the floor right now, barricaded, being quiet, no lights on.
Streets were closed with people kept inside casinos. The man with the gun has not been publicly identified, police only saying that he's a man in his 30s. Fox News, fair and balanced.
.38 degrees. We have clouds and sunshine, mostly sunny skies, we'll call it. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A teacher at Downers Grove North High School is accused of sexually harassing a former student. School officials say that teacher has been placed on administrative leave, and the Downers Grove Police Department has opened an investigation. Authorities believe alcohol may have played a factor in a wrong-way crash on Lakeshore Drive that left 4 hurt. Police say a Toyota Camry traveling the wrong way overnight struck a minivan near Soldier Field. Congressman Luis Gutierrez says he may be leaving his 4th District seat, but he's not retiring, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
Congressman Gutierrez says he plans to continue his fights for immigrants' rights and to rebuild Puerto Rico, but not as that island's governor.
I'm not going to run for governor. I have no interest in running. I'm not going to run for governor.
And you're going to remain a registered voter here?
No, I'm going to remain a registered voter in the state. I got to vote for Jesus Garcia every 2 years.
He's endorsing County Commissioner Chuy Garcia to replace him. Gutierrez says he also won't challenge Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
Yes, I rule out running for mayor of the city of Chicago. Rule that out.
Gutierrez says he's heading back to Puerto Rico this weekend on another humanitarian mission. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Bond is set at $250,000 each for 3 Chicago men accused of stealing cars and burglarizing garages in Elmhurst. Deontay Daniel, Tyrone Wilson, and the Anthony Webb were charged yesterday with burglary and possession of stolen vehicles. A 4th suspect remains at large. Suns over the Bulls, 104-99. Blackhawks rally but fall to the Predators in Nashville 3-2. The news, a service of Accountemps. Business needs can change in an instant, from increased workload like year-end projects to staff absences over the holidays. Accountemps can help by providing accounting and finance pros on a temporary or project basis, whenever and wherever you need them. Call today. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Tara Lynn Wagner.
From the Fox Business Network, oil futures pulling back after reports of a surprise increase in U.S. crude oil supplies. The American Petroleum Institute reported late Tuesday that U.S. crude supplies climbed by 1.8 million barrels for the week ending November 24th. Now, if those numbers are confirmed today, prices could drop even further. Jeep Wrangler about to undergo a tune-up. Fiat Chrysler revamping the vehicle for the first time in a decade, with most of the changes happening under the hood. New engines are coming, including a diesel and a 4-cylinder gas-electric hybrid. Shares in Tiffany & Company glittering this morning as they report third-quarter earnings of $100.2 million. That's better than Wall Street expected. Shares have risen 21% since the start of the year. New highs across the markets yesterday. The Dow closed up 256, the Nasdaq was up 34, and the S&P 500 gained 26. The Dow now within spitting distance of 24,000. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Tara Lynn Wagner.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Life happens. With ADT, you can feel safe with an ADT starter kit professionally installed for only $49. Call today and install an ADT starter kit that includes security panel, keypad, key fob, entry and motion sensors, and for a limited time, get a camera included and installed at no additional cost. That's a $449 value installed for just $49.
Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSB, and EasyPay activation. Early term fees may apply. Certain marks excluded. License available at ADT.com, Florida EF001121, UBZ F1639.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
For a great corporate team building outing or special occasion like a bachelor party, birthday, or even a date night, get to Maxson Shooter Supplies. Dan Proft here with General Manager and highly qualified firearms instructor Sarah Natali of Maxson Shooter Supplies and Indoor Range. Sarah, tell us how Maxson can help listeners host an awesome event.
Thanks, Dan. Maxson is Illinois' first 5-star range and one of only 65 nationwide. We design private events around groups of new or experienced shooters, and our instructors are patient and friendly. We take care of everything you need, from eye and ear protection to targets and ammunition ammunition, and a choice of over 90 rental guns. If there's someone special in your life that you'd like to introduce to the shooting sports, we can help there too. Our instructors have years of experience and teach basic firearm safety in a safe and positive environment. And we'd love to share our passion for the shooting sports with you.
Thanks, Sarah. Book an event or ask questions anytime online at MaxonShooters.com. Maxon is easy to get to, just north of O'Hare in Des Plaines. More info at 847-298-GUNS or visit MaxonShooters.com, MAXON shooters.com.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest on the morning commute with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. It's rough. 80 westbound jammed. Gallagher to Center Street with a crash involving several vehicles eastbound to the Larkin to Richards. Indiana Toll Road westbound. There's a jam from just past the Gary Airport to past Indianapolis Boulevard due to road work in the left lane. Heavy delays on southbound 53 this morning. Ran to Kirchhoff and then Beesterfield down to 355. It says eastbound 390 delays starting before Meacham. The northbound Veterans Memorial's really heavy. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Southbound Tri-State got a jam. 21 to 176. Northbound 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan till to North Avenue. Aiden's 22 minutes Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 34. Kennedy, an hour and 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. The Icon, hour 22, 390 to the Circle. Stevenson, an hour 16, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. And Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and mild. Some sunshine giving way to clouds. A shower in the area late in the afternoon. High 56. Patchy clouds tonight, colder with a low 34. Then tomorrow mostly sunny, high 47. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Sunshine, 38. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Sunday afternoons at 2. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So the big news this morning.
We'll fly around the world to a secret destination. Where in the world is Matt Flower?
Ann B. Davis's bowling ball has tweeted out a sort of a variation on that. He suggests that they should do at the Today Show, where in the world was Matt Lauer's penis segments for Sweeps Week?
Stop it. Clearly, it wasn't in his pants in Rio.
And
but,
what do we know about the sexual misconduct allegations?
That it happened to an NBC employee while they were away covering the Olympics in Rio, and that he's had consensual relationships with subordinates at NBC before, but this one was definitely not consensual. And it's not a sexual abuse, it's a sexual assault claim.
Allegation.
Right. And they got it on Monday and then decided to can him late last night. So this morning, everybody woke up, including his coworkers, to find out that Matt's not coming back ever.
And the question also, because it was included in the statement NBC released, the belief that there may be more allegations forthcoming, so trying to get out ahead of it. And you said before that the New York Times had been investigating some of the allegations as well. So we'll see where this goes. But we have to get on to things of geopolitical importance at present. Oh, you know, like a North Korean missile test and our interests in Asia and for stability in that region. And President Trump addressed that quarterly missile test by Kim Jong-un, but the next stage of progression with North Korea's nuclear program, an ICBM traveled for 50 minutes, landed off the coast of Japan, and sent our Japanese and South Korean allies scrambling, and the president saying this.
A missile was launched a little while ago from North Korea. I will only tell you that we will take care of it. We have General Mattis in the room with us, and we've had a long discussion on it. It is a situation that we will handle.
All right, so how are we going to handle it? For more on that question, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Colonel Cedric Leighton, CNN military analyst and security consultant who has previously served on both the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the National Security Council. Colonel Leighton, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Dan. Good to be with you this morning.
So how does handling it, what does handling it look like in your estimation?
Well, this is going to be a tough one because the options that we have are frankly limited. Yes, there are military options. There are certain things that can be done and certain things that probably are being done. But the most likely course is that the U.S. and its allies are going to stay the course with extra sanctions, with other efforts such as calling the UN Security Council into session to discuss this, things of that nature. Now, no, that doesn't sound very exciting, but the basic idea is this, that as the sanctions tighten against the North Korean regime, there's the hope that it's going to crumble from within, but that's going to be something that's going to take a real long time, if ever, to materialize. So the idea that this is going to be a quick fix, I think, is a mistake. It's going to take a while, and it's going to be something that will require a concerted effort by the U.S. and its allies, and also China and Russia. But China and Russia will clearly want to play their own game here and not necessarily follow the U.S. lead.
Well, there seems to be a cause for concern. I mean, in Hawaii, they're resuming their Cold War era nuclear siren tests. They had that out yesterday, and just they're beginning those in December. So, this something must have been different from this ICBM compared to the last one that was fired. Do you know what that is?
Well, yes, absolutely, Amy. And the reason that we have this difference in the reaction from Hawaii state officials to revamp their Cold War siren system and alert system is basically this. This missile actually does have the capability to reach the continental United States, and Hawaii, of course, is on the way there. It's on a path, and it is probably a bit more likely that a North Korean missile would go after a base in Hawaii or Guam as opposed to actually trying to hit the U.S. However, that is the mainland U.S. But having said that, it really shows that the whole nuclear non-proliferation regime where countries were basically put in certain boxes, their nuclear powers, and then there's everybody else. Well, more and more countries are either seeking to join the nuclear club or they are joining the nuclear club. And this specific missile has a greater range. It has the capacity to carry a warhead. The question is, can the North Koreans actually put a miniaturized warhead on this missile? And they're certainly working toward that. If they do that, then not only Japan and Korea are at risk, South Korea, but also the rest of the world, frankly.
Yeah, but if they do that, I mean, it's not an if, is it? It's a when. And unless the sanctions crush the regime from within, which seems unlikely, or we take military action to effect regime change, which seems unlikely, you're talking about them on the trajectory towards nuclearization. And so the focus for America should be on missile defense. Is that fair?
I think it would be fair to say that missile defense is something that can certainly help protect us. It is not 100% foolproof. No defense system is, but we've certainly come a long way, since the 1980s when this kind of a scheme was thought to be completely unworkable. It has its issues. There are some significant delays in implementing it, but there are missile defense batteries both in Alaska and in California, and they can actually protect us, a large portion of the United States, against incoming missiles, especially those from North Korea. The North really wants to be recognized as a nuclear power, and they're working their way toward at least de facto recognition of that fact, and that is something that will be a diplomatic game changer. At least it may not affect daily life here in the U.S. or in South Korea, but it could definitely have implications for our relationship with North Korea and our relationship with China and Russia as well.
So just the strategy that we're taking with North Korea shouldn't really change. You don't believe it's going to change. And the description of the combination of sanctions and coalition building with allies like the South Koreans and the Japanese, a recognition that North Korea is on this path. Is this an example of the principled realism that Trump suggests describe his foreign policy?
I think it is certainly a more realistic approach than what we've had in the past, and I think principled realism, it still needs to be fleshed out a bit in terms of what that really means. But if it means this kind of reaction toward the North Koreans, then it has a chance not only of working, but it also has a chance of setting the tone for U.S. foreign policy for the next decade or so, and that could be a significant change in the way we actually conduct business and the way we recognize reality on the ground as opposed to what we think reality should be, and that can be an important distinction.
He is Colonel Cedric Leighton, CNN military analyst and security consultant who has previously served on the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the National Security Council. Colonel Leighton, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet, Dan. Anytime.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up next. Come on, Dan. Why Meghan Markle is going to make history. Just real quick. Just give me 30 seconds, boss. 30 seconds.
Boring.
You're going to replace Matt Lauer on the Today Show?
First, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine today. A high of 47 degrees. Tonight, some passing showers. We go into the 30s. And for Thursday, it's going to get warm around here again. Clouds, some sun, a high in the low 50s. Let's go into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Jim Talamonte, please tell me you care about the Royals.
I don't even care about the Kansas City Royals, Amy.
Oh, nice.
We have I don't like them, I should say. On the westbound side of I-80, Amy, there's a royal mess right now. We got a crash involving up to 7 cars at Chicago Street in Joliet. And the delays on the westbound side start at US 30, eastbound from Larkin to Chicago Street. Indiana Toll Road got a big jam from past the Gary Airport, past the Indianapolis Boulevard area. There's some construction there. Kennedy's heavy, an hour and 16 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 44 minutes from Montrose, 36 in the Express. Outbound 46 to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound 32. Eisenhower, an hour and 18 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound it's 39 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to the Loop. See delays on the southbound Tri-State, heavy, 21 to 176. Northbound, 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, 53 slow going southbound. Rand to Kirchhoff and Beesterfield to 355. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
So many tools all over the place and not enough cabinet space. This garage is a mess. Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA in Kankakee with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call the owner, Mike Ryan, personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STOR-LOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. Don't miss StoreLock at the Greater Peoria Farm Show at the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria, November 28th through the 30th.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories,
Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal.
Love that song by Lorde.
Yeah. You're so with it.
So hip. I know you don't like Meghan Markle, but she is a Northwestern grad, Kappa Gamma.
I have no opinion of her. I just don't care. That's not liking.
So details came out. They're going to get married in May now instead of June because she is 36 years old, you know. Tick-tock goes the clock, lady.
Oh, boy.
Got to get those babies out. They're going to be married at Windsor Chapel. It's going to be, obviously smaller than Kate and William's wedding. But she's going to get baptized. She's going to become an Episcopalian, the Church of England, don't you know?
Because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family.
So she's going to become the royal family member. Kate Middleton approves.
William and I are absolutely thrilled. It's such exciting news.
She's also going to become a citizen. She's going to have a dual passport. She's going to be still remain, her American citizenship, but she'll have a dual passport. She's going to become a resident of British.
She is fascinating.
She is, but listen to this. Camilla Parker's bowl.
What? Camilla Parker's bowl? What about her bowl?
Camilla Parker bowl.
Bowls.
Bowls. I said bowls. The original homewrecker. She is the original.
Yeah.
homewrecker.
Oh, yeah. With the ears guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, listen to what she said. These are fighting words.
America's loss is our gain, and we're all absolutely delighted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
America's loss is our gain. They're going to have, they're having a coming out party on Friday. They're going to Nottingham to meet the public.
I wouldn't use coming out party with the royal family.
I'm just saying.
It could be dangerous.
They're going to have a chance for her to meet the public, and then she's going to travel through Britain to get to know the people.
Oh, boy.
But this is how.
What a delight that'll be for them.
Come on. You guys, you're not taking this seriously enough.
No, I'm not.
And then the reason why Prince Harry knew he could marry her, it was Queen Elizabeth's dogs. She surrounds herself with these cute little corgis, and this is what happened when the dogs and Queen Elizabeth met Meghan Markle.
Corgis took to you straight away. For the last 33 years being barked at. This one walks in absolutely nothing.
Just laying on my feet during tea. It was very sweet.
And I was just like, oh.
And that's how he knew he was going to marry her.
I like to revise my previous statement about having no opinion. No, I do hate them.
The other girls who brought around, the dogs didn't like the other girls. But with Meghan Markle, they fell at her feet. She's a Kappa Gamma. I'm so excited. Never again in history. She's making history. Her mom is from Rwanda, and her dad is Jewish. I mean, it's a hodgepodge of. She's America. Now she's going to become a princess.
I can't wait for you to write her unauthorized biography. We'll look forward to that. We'll mark it
I
on
want
the
to
show.
freelance for the Kappa Key so that I could try and get an interview with her. And if you're not familiar with the publication, the Kappa Key, it's the Kappa Gamma quarterly magazine. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, no, I know. Matt Lauer had a subscription.
Boring. Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So your son got home safe last night? Tom said he had a flat tire.
Yeah, he was out past curfew and got stuck on Route 1, but Liberty Mutual went out and took care of it for him.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, a flat, jump, or tow. It's no problem no matter where or when with their roadside assistance.
What was he doing out so late anyway?
Getting himself grounded for a month.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be up the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer where family owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue and Carol Stream, or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Are we piping in Light FM? What is that?
Excuse me.
Anything for ratings with these guys, I'll tell you. All right, Food for the Poor. We've launched our 2017 campaign, Food for the Poor, our goal, and we will achieve it because we have that can-do spirit to provide food for a year and water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti and Guatemala, but we need your help.
And to help, we're asking for a one-time donation of $50, and that will provide food for a year and water for life. Think about it. It's the best gift you can give them. Again, I can't say this enough. My mom called me yesterday and said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I of course, a new pair of shoes would be nice, or
Fabergé egg,
or clothes would be nice. But you know what? After visiting Haiti,
White House Christmas ornament honoring FDR. Why did Trump choose FDR to honor? It's weird.
It's
could get that.
Yeah. But I said no to all of that because I want to help people this year. So I said, "Mom, it'd be great if you'd make a donation in my name, in my honor for Christmas, because I don't need anything. They need food." You should see their faces when they are given, because we went to visit them in villages and in orphanages. And there's one boy, 7 years old. He was dropped off when he was 7 days old. His mom had died. His dad just couldn't care for him because there's no money. I mean, literally, these people live day to day to survive. And his dad could not take care of him. So he dropped him off at El Infante Orphanage. And this little boy, they don't have enough money for a crib, so he sleeps in the middle of the bed. And he falls asleep and takes his nap with these two kittens, Dan. I'm going to tweet out the picture. It's just so sweet. And kids like that, they need your help. So please, we're asking for a one-time donation of $50. Call this number, 844-862-HOPE. That's 844-862-4673. Or just go to 560theanswer.com, search for the keyword food, and again, a $50 donation will go a very, very long way.
Well, right, and we're talking about life-threatening poverty here, the absence of water and food. We're not. There is no food pantry in Port-au-Prince. They don't have the charitable organizations that we have in America to serve those that are in some level of need. And so one of the other ways to help is through our business community, the Business Benefactor Program that's associated with this campaign. Any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible gift to Food for the Poor, as a bit of thanks from us to you, we're going to give you 40 60-second commercials for your business that will run Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., our prime broadcasting hours on these airwaves. To get involved with that program, call sales manager Michael Mann directly at 847-871-1527. Again, Michael Mann, who's our sales director, and he can be reached at 847-871-1527 if you want to get involved in the Business Benefactor Program to help out.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Denzel Washington says the prison system is not to blame for crime in black communities at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
38 degrees in Chicago. We have sunshine. Matt Lauer is out at NBC News, effective immediately. Following a sexual misconduct allegation, We've been talking about that with Dan and Amy this morning. NBC News Chair Andrew Lack overnight sending a memo to staff saying the network had received a complaint from a colleague about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by the longtime Today Show co-host. This morning, NBC News contributor and former President Reagan speechwriter Peggy Noonan says she expects more sordid details to come to light.
I suspect we will be seeing some extraordinary news reports in the coming days about what happened.
59-year-old Lauer had hosted Today since 1998. A man connected to the string of murders that took place in a Tampa Bay neighborhood is in custody. The suspect, Howell Donaldson III, will be charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder for the killings in the Seminole Heights neighborhood, but police still do not have a motive. North Korea touting its latest missile launch, claiming it can now reach the U.S. mainland. North Korea state media saying it successfully tested a new intercontinental ballistic missile that can carry a nuclear warhead. Defense Secretary James Mattis says South Korea is already taking action.
In response, the South Koreans have fired some pinpoint missiles out into the water to make certain North Korea understands that they could be taken under fire by our ally.
The missile flew several hundred miles before finally splashing down in the Sea of Japan. Uber's loss for the third quarter reportedly widening to nearly $1.5 billion. Federal judge is ruling in favor of President Trump and the White House in the leadership struggle at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The decision puts White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney in charge of the banking watchdog agency after Director Richard Cordray resigned last week. A teacher at Downers Grove North High School is accused of sexually harassing a former student. School officials say the teacher has now been placed on administrative leave, and the Downers Grove Police Department has opened an investigation. Illinois Congressman Luis Gutierrez backing Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia to replace him. Chicago Democrat endorsed Garcia yesterday after announcing he was not seeking re-election next year. Suns over the Bulls at the United Center last night, 104-99. Blackhawks fell to the Predators in Nashville, 3-2. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. For more than 90 years, Napa Auto Parts has provided the quality parts and expertise to help keep almost anything on the road. And now with Napa Rewards, you can save money on all the parts you need to keep your car running. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is turning to the positive.
Anywhere else, you see that Trump claims that Putin didn't meddle in our election. There's such deception and such a fierce outrage. I just don't know when we're going to get the cork back in the bottle. I'm choosing right now in my life to look at some positives.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Bless your loved ones with meaningful Christmas gifts from the BillyGrahamBookstore.org, where purchases help fund the ministry of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Order now at BillyGrahamBookstore.org.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
8:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound is heavy. Cicero to Montrose, 23 minutes. Lake Cook Junction outbound 34. You've got Kennedy jammed Austin to the Hubbard Tunnel, an hour and 15 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 47 minutes from Montrose, 36 on the Express. Outbound 35 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 21 minutes, 390 to downtown, an hour 4 from Manheim, outbound 39 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 43 minutes. Bryan, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 48 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, delay start at Bryn Mawr. It's 35 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe. Southbound Tri-State, it's very heavy from 21 to 176. And approaching the Stevenson after a crash. Northbound, 95th to the Hinsdale Oasis. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Delays on the eastbound Reagan Tollway. Raymond to Yackley with a crash on the right shoulder. Northbound Veterans Memorial jammed. I-55 to the Reagan Tollway at Army Trail to 290. Southbound 53 Rand to Kirchhoff and Biesterfield to 355. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and cooler today, a high of 47, 36 right now at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I want to get to what the great actor Denzel Washington had to say about crime in the black communities and the state of the black family in America. But we got a few calls on the whole Matt Lauer termination for alleged sexual misconduct, Amy.
Yeah, while he was at the Olympics in Rio back in the summer of 2016.
Summer of 2016. He'll remember it always.
Yes, he will.
Terry in Rogers Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I think the real reason Matt Lauer was fired is because of Today's Show's ratings are way down, especially since they took on Megyn Kelly.
Oh, interesting.
Why
Thanks for the call, Terry. I
vitriol
don't know.
Megyn Kelly. Why do people loathe Megyn Kelly?
Because she's like a, celebutante social climber. She's kind of, like...
She sold out.
Yeah, sort of.
She never was a admitted conservative. She was independent, just like Gretchen Carlson. They never committed to a political party.
No, I understand that. I don't think that's it. I think it's just her chasing celebrity. I think that's what it is.
It's weird because she bashed the left and the celebrity left, and then this is what happened,
All right, I can't seem to change this because our phone thing's not working. Kevin in Northfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Guys, I want you to think about this marketing idea. I'm wanting you to take one for the team. Things happen in threes. You got Charlie Rose at CBS. You got Matt Lauer at NBC. What I propose is that Amy harass Dan in a scheduled, pre-planned thing. Mm-hmm. The ratings will go through the roof. You'll get a national audience. You can somehow involve Sean from Elmwood Park there. It would be huge. It would be huge. Take one for the team. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. Thanks for the call.
Excuse me. I'm going to answer that question. But I don't want to do that.
Well, I know.
I mean,
that's
don't take it personally, Dan.
No, I don't.
I'd rather not, because then I might lose my coaching
Nobody
job.
Wants to harass me.
I might, and
well, then I'd have to go to counseling too, because I'd be broken.
And meditation. I'm sorry, mediation. Yeah, you'd be broken, and then you'd have to fill out forms, and
Could get maybe a private cash settlement, so that could be good.
Not for me.
Yeah, that's true.
You might have to put a lien on my house.
Yeah, that's the problem.
On my A-frame in Lakeview.
Yeah.
There's only 2 left on our street.
You're judgment-proof. That doesn't help. That doesn't make it more attractive for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're going to stage that, but
you know what?
Appreciate show ideas.
Mike Scott could step in. And take one for the team.
Yeah, Mike's. Oh, you mean to harass me?
Yes. I don't want any groping involved. Just rhetoric.
Leering.
Yeah, leering.
Yeah.
Getting too close. Getting in your personal space.
Close talking.
Breathing. Oh, you look nice today, Dad.
Yeah.
I like your cologne. Want to go play golf?
No, I don't.
I don't think Mike Scott talks like that.
I don't think he does either. And we know Mike Scott wouldn't act like that. So, no, I think we're going to take a pass with trying to jump on this bandwagon for, our own advancement. I don't think that would play very well, nor should it. Sean in Elmwood Park.
My idea is much better. Listen to me. I'll let you in on it, Prof.
Hi,
Amy,
Sean. Hi.
You too. And we can resurrect Bruce Wolf's career. In honor of Bill Clinton, we start our own. called Just Kiss It News Network, where we like harassment. We've got the whole lineup. From morning, we've got Charlie Rose, we've got financial with bowling, and we wrap it up with O'Reilly. And you do little things like, Amy, when you go out in the hurricanes, you're in charge of all the people on the street, and they all must wear bikinis. We hire all of the Mexican meteorologists from Telemundo. We get them in bikinis and thongs and get them out in hurricanes. I don't know who would watch anything but it. And then when you kick, you have little taglines like "Take it away, you dirty rat," and you go to the women and the men. I think it's perfect. We have a hunger for sexual harassment. Let's take advantage of it. We start our own sexual harassment news network.
We've created.
Thank you. Thank you, Roger Ailes
We've
in Elmwood Park.
created an atmosphere for sexual harassment. I mean, we have encouraged women to wear as little as possible. Now, I'll never forget the first time I wore a dress without a sleeveless dress. Phyllis Schwartz was our news director. She called me up. She's like, I fell out of my bed. Put some clothes on. And now everybody look like they're going to a cocktail party when they do the news.
I used to wear.
You show up to a crime scene dressed like that, you look like a fool.
I used to wear low-cut blouses to work when I came here, but then I recognized. Then I was told about the corporate policy here. It's different than it, was
you
at
have a dress
WLS.
code. You have a dress code, and you have to abide by the dress code.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
And I mean, seriously, these
sexual harassment only
meteorologists in L.A. and at Telemundo, Shacamundo, and Univision. I mean, really, how short are you going to go with those dresses? You might as well just put on a two-piece. Or you could do naked news. Remember the Naked News Network for a while?
I don't remember that. No, but okay.
They would slowly undress while they told you their news story.
Well, that's a parody, right?
Well, it was a parody, but they got some hits on the internet.
It's being it is becoming difficult to parody things. I point out Medusa magazine.
Yeah,
Medusa magazine.
Why did you take that copy off my desk?
Medusa magazine shut down. This was a far left feminist magazine.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Except it was satire, but it was satire that wasn't disclosed. Medusa magazine would actually be cited by other leftists as like a legitimate news source. The editor just announced that he was shutting it down, disclosing that it's always been and will always be satire. The problem. We can no longer compete with our competition. We have come to realize that our competition is not other satirical websites, but rather the people we are trying to satirize. You can't parody the left because you just can't keep up. It's like the difference between The Onion and the New York Times in so many instances. What is the difference? They're indistinguishable with respect to some of the news, the quote-unquote news content they provide. The same thing, of course, with the cable news channels, which are the worst offenders, of course. So it is interesting to point out. So maybe the sexual harassment news channel, kind of the same thing. What's the difference? I've already got the moniker for the morning show, Up in the Morning with Charlie
Rose
and Matt.
Up in the morning.
And that's the sound effect.
On Time and Up in the Morning with Charlie Rose, Matt Lauer, celebrity reporter Billy Bush, political reporter Bill O'Reilly.
What does on time have to do with anything?
Because I'm all about the clock.
It has to be double entendre.
Oh, okay. Then what would it be?
So now you have to come up with names for the afternoon show, for the correspondence, for the
we know we could have the booker could be the NBC booker for the Today Show, who was let go for sexual harassment.
Another Matt Zimmerman. This was kind of underreported because he's behind the scenes guy. But a few weeks ago. Yeah, the Today Show booker also relieved of his duties for alleged sexual misconduct. So the Today Show is basically down to Hoda and Kathy Lee. I don't know. You're going to have to replenish the pond there with former Clinton and Obama staffers. Maybe Stephanopoulos will come over. Maybe Paul Begala. Or Serpent Head. Put Carville on to replace Matt Lauer.
Ew.
Same hairline.
Yeah.
All right, switching gears. I want to get to this because
they'll give it to Harry Smith. Sorry.
Harry Smith.
Uh-huh.
What happened to him?
I bet you he's going to get Matt Lauer's job.
Why?
Oh, he's been a correspondent for NBC.
Didn't he pass away?
No, he's alive.
Oh.
He didn't die.
Where is he? He's on TV.
Yes, he is. He's on NBC.
Oh.
Yeah, he does stories for the Olympics too. Matt Lauer was their lead at the Olympics. I mean, he's the face of their franchise. He's everything. I don't know who's going to replace him.
Oh, yeah, he's irreplaceable.
I don't want to see Carson Daly there.
Irreplaceable. Yeah.
Well, or Billy Geist or whatever that guy's name is. William. Ugh, he's awful.
Why does it have to be a guy? Why don't you just go all females?
Okay.
Maybe you.
No.
You could reunite with Savannah and Megan.
Hi, how are my interns doing? I'm great.
Pretty
I'm
good.
slumming it on AM 5.
Oh,
5,000
really?
watt radio
Oh,
station.
boy.
Just
Oh, look at you. That's not very Eli Manning of you, is it? No.
No.
Now, are you setting a good example to your Eli at home with that kind of loose
No,
talk?
I'm very appreciative to work here. Trust me.
All right, I want to get to Denzel Washington because he said some things you're not allowed to say if you're a member of the Hollywood elite and a minority to boot. He's out promoting his new movie, Roman J. Israel Esquire, where he plays a criminal defense attorney who works to address social injustices.
I bet it was a stretch for to play that role.
Well, it's Denzel Washington. He's kind of an interesting guy. He quietly does a lot of good work. He's been very involved with the Boys and Girls Club for a long time.
Good.
He's been helpful to military. He's not one of these mindless Hollywood demagogues who are just looking to get noticed, get on the talk shows, wade into politics and spout off about things they know little about. He talked.
He is a gifted actor too.
Oh, he's a great actor. Great actor. One of the best actors of his generation. There's no question about that. I mean, like he and Daniel Day-Lewis, I would put kind of in the same category.
Daniel Day-Lewis retired.
Last movie is
Boo.
forthcoming. Actor Denzel Washington stressing the prison system not to blame for crime in black communities. It starts in the home, said Denzel. If the father is not in the home, the boy will find a father in the streets. I saw it in my generation and every generation before me and everyone since. If the street raises you, then the judge becomes your mother and the prison becomes your home. Whoa. It starts with how you raise your children. If a young man doesn't have a father figure, he'll go find a father figure. Yep. So, I can't blame the system. It's unfortunate that we make such easy work for them. Jason Riley over at Wall Street Journal picked up on what Denzel had to say in an op-ed today. Denzel Washington is making sense. And he commented on Denzel's frank talk. Such talk is commonplace in black churches and beauty salons and barbershops and community centers. What's remarkable is that Mr. Washington opted to say what he did within earshot of so many whites, black political leaders and activist organizations, in an effort to raise money and stay relevant. Much prefer to focus on racial prejudice when publicly discussing black-white disparities. Mr. Washington broke with the protocol. And also breaking with the protocol and receiving much criticism, of course, is Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, who Jason Riley points out is looking closely at reversing an Obama administration approach to school discipline, which urged schools to take race into account when deciding whether or not to suspend or otherwise discipline a disruptive student. And DeVos and the Education Department should take that step. What's also needed, though, writes Riley, Mrs. DeVos is well positioned to provide, is a new emphasis on prioritizing the needs of low-income minority children who are in school to get an education rather than make trouble for others. Agree with that, too. So, maybe the conversation is starting to change, particularly when you have high-profile individuals like Denzel Washington, essentially, without saying it specifically, talking about kind of being accountable for yourself and your family. And that's something that transcends race, and it's something the left won't talk about because their entire raison d'etre is about dividing people based on race and other identities, the poison of identity politics. Denzel Washington broke with protocol, and we're happy he did.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So your son got home safe last night? Tom said he had a flat tire.
Yeah, he was out past curfew and got stuck on Route 1, but Liberty Mutual went out and took care of it for him.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, a flat, jump, or tow. It's no problem no matter where or when with their roadside assistance.
What was he doing out so late anyway?
Getting himself grounded for a month.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I do feel better, and my MS, I used to be right-handed, and now all my fine motor skills are gone. I can't write, and I cannot use knives. I can't, cut and cook. So then I got my husband's Balance of Nature books out, and I'm like, oh, my God, all the food that I'm supposed to be eating is stuff that's in these pills. So it's easier for me to take a pill because I can't chop up some things, and I can't, I just can't do that for myself.